Guardian down.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging out with us today. Welcome to episode 68 of Guardian Downcast. That was a good year. We're a couple dads that talk about all things in the Destiny universe and interview content creators and community members to find out more about them. All of this while trying not to take ourselves too seriously and having some fun along the way. I'm your host, The Gator. And my co-host, Hazel, is here as well. Hopefully we didn't give up too much of a... I know you had a valuable date night tonight, Hazel. I hope you didn't cut it too short, man, to be on the show tonight.
Oh, no. No, my wife was all about it. I mean, we've been planning this and stuff like that. And she's just like, we can do it on Saturday, but she's like, you have to work. And then it's like is Halloween and all that good shit. And then she's like, let's do it Friday. And then she's like, just do your podcast afterwards. And I'm just like, no. I was like, it's a date night. I should be with you, that kind of thing. And she's just like, no. And I think she's going to go upstairs and like finish like 2 shows or something like that. So I think that's her ulterior motive.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Hazelnut, if you do listen. Thank you for having him help me tonight, because, man, we got an avalanche of shit to deal with tonight.
Yeah, we do.
So how's your week been, man? Everything good?
Oh, man. My week's been pretty good. Just working like usual. And then one thing that I have been actually playing a lot of, well, actually, wait, first, gentlemen, I have news.
Okay.
I hope you're ready. All right. I hit 100 on the season pass bar.
Oh, shit, man. You had me going, man. I thought you were going to say, I got to leave the podcast. Shit.
No. Nope. I hit 100 on the season pass bar.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll put some organ music in here right about now.
Yeah, exactly. So, so that's not bad after taking like 2 months off to play Call of Duty and getting a Switch and everything that involves with that. And now I'm back actually off of Destiny completely for the moment, and I'm playing Pokemon Shield. So, yeah, it's actually fun.
Got to catch them all.
Don't you just? What about you, man?
Yeah, it's been a good week. Oh my God. I'm sorry if you guys up north are freezing right now, because we had the most beautiful day today. 76 degrees, sunny sky. This is what I live for in Florida. Hey, let's do a weather check real quick. I mean, we have 3 corners of the country covered here right now. I got 65 right now and fair, nice, dry and cool, no wind. What do you got over there in Utah there, Kingsley?
Well, if we look at the weather report for today, we're currently sitting at 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and our 10-day forecast. Actually, I'm not ready for this.
That's all right. It's all right. You got it. You do
actually here. It is funny because we were down to like 20 for one day last week, which was weird for us even this time of year. And then now we're going to be back up to 70 for the high on Wednesday. So It's all over the place.
Well,
damn.
All right. Weather check, Hazel. What's Ohio all about right now?
We like the 40s. We're not dipping down in the 20s yet. So yeah, we're in the 40s and then like 30s at night. So, I think it hit like 50 or maybe 50 today. So
okay.
It was nice. Not
bad. Well, I'm sorry, listeners. I had to, since we have a nice little triangle area here covered almost the entire nation, I figured we'd get a good synopsis of what it's like on October 30th, 2020.
Hey, is it like a CAP triangle from the Scourge of the Past raid?
Yeah, it could be something like that.
Hey, look at that. We're full circle.
I have to tell you one story before we move on here. My wife, she gets up before I do in the morning. So usually when she taps me or kisses me goodbye for the day, sometimes I mumble in my sleep a little bit. And she says, I had to text your daughter this morning because you said the weirdest shit this morning as I left. I tapped you on the shoulder, I gave you a kiss goodbye, and this is what you said to me. Yankee, Dank, Oopsie, Doopsie. I'm like, what? How the hell did I ever say that? Yankee, Dank, Oopsie, Doopsie. And then since she said, I started laughing. I don't I understand.
Isn't that some like song lyrics from the 20s?
No. I did watch the World Series that night before, so maybe I was thinking Yankees there. Dank memes maybe, but Oopsie Doopsie?
Yeah.
I have no clue,
Oopsie
man.
Doopsie song.
Well, maybe that's title worthy. We'll see. But as you heard earlier in our little banter here, joining us tonight is a good friend of the show. He's the co-host of the Guardian Hub podcast. And if you haven't listened or checked out this podcast, you guys really need to listen. They're really a really great Destiny podcast. One of our brethren in the Destiny podcasting community, Mr. Kingsleymac. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Oh, man, it is such a pleasure being here. We have so much to talk about. And even though it's episode 68 instead of 69, but also I do want to say I cut my date night short for this podcast.
Aww.
Did you really? Damn.
No, I don't know. I just wanted to say that, but
No,
I did tell the wife. She's like, just schedule things in the calendar, and as long as they're scheduled and not too many, then I'm good with it.
Yeah. It sounds like we have some awesome wives, man. Yeah, good deal.
Yeah.
Well, I know you with young children out there, when you get an opportunity to have a date night, I realize how rare that is. So that's why thank you, Hazel, again for coming on. I was going to run it solo tonight and I said, well, who can I talk to that knows Destiny and as crazy as Destiny is me? And I said, Mr. Kingsleymac, hopefully he can help me out. So now we got all three of us. So it's going to be awesome tonight. Well, just an overview of tonight's show. We're going to catch up with Kingsley, see what he's up to in life. Hazel's going to go over the TWAB for this 21st week of Season of Arrivals.
Oh, you're doing the side now?
One more.
It's wearing down on him now too.
Yeah.
One more reset, gang. One more Tuesday reset.Ast it.
That's true.
So, and there's been a few developments this past week in Destiny. So we're just gonna have a chill episode tonight, guys. We're gonna talk a lot of Destiny tonight. So if you want to know what's up with Destiny and Destiny 2. Tonight's the night, because we're going to really get into it. Finally, before we go, we're going to answer questions from our community, and man, did they step up again, Hazel. We got questions coming out of every. Never mind.
What?
We got a lot of good questions tonight. Our community stepped up. They really came out with some
did.
great questions tonight. And finally, we will add two songs, in fact, each to our award-winning Guardian Downcast show playlist on Spotify and iTunes. All right, that's it. Drop that beat.
Hey, Kingsley, thank you for coming on our shit show podcast. We appreciate you as always.
Man, I love to be here. You guys are awesome.
We try. So, hey, one thing I want to call out real quick here, because with whenever we have recurring guests, our interview sections are kind of all over the place. But one thing I do want to call out is your last episode that you released, where you did the live raid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
I absolutely loved that. What was what did you guys think about that?
I liked it too. I do want to give shout out to podcasts that have done this in the past before we have. I mean, I always had the idea, but didn't have the chance to implement it myself. But I remember back, I used to be associated somewhat with the Hoot Dog Radio podcast, and they did a live Leviathan at the end of year 1 of Destiny. And I actually had that idea, even though I didn't bring it up to them, but I was like, I got to do this sometime in the future. And Eater Worlds is just a raid that I like a lot. Leviathan's great. A lot of people like Leviathan, but for some reason, Eater Worlds clicked with me. It's an easy one to Sherpa. It's really fun to do because you're running back and forth, but you can still put some people in easier spots if you need. And even though the beginning's a little boring with the jumping puzzle, I still just like the raid. And so I'm like, okay, let's do a live podcast recording. I know it'll be crazy. Everyone will be talking. And also with this raid, it's, we don't have to explain as much like, oh, let's redo it this way. Cause we all kind of know it, it's an easier one. So I figured that'd be a good one. We could just try to more talk about commentary. I mean, I appreciate the points everyone made. We were just bantering back and forth most of the time, but Gator stepped in, Helio stepped in. Everyone kind of just were talking about things that they enjoyed about the raid in the past, and I thought it was a fun experience.
Yeah, it was a kind of a experience, and thank you, Kingsley, for asking me to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like herding cats. It wasn't as bad as I thought, but it's really hard for me to talk and raid at the same time. And I felt for Kingsley because right off the bat, Craig Bot didn't want to work that night. And
yeah.
I said, "Don't worry, I'll crank up OBS. I'll record it for you guys." And
so you saved us there.
Hopefully, the recording wasn't too bad. It sounded okay. I'm sure Sin had to do a lot of tweaking on it, but no, it was everything's shooting you, and you're having to do an actual raid and try to talk about raiding, and Kingsley was trying to keep it as coordinated as possible, but it's a raid, man. It's always chaos. I don't care how well we knew that raid. But kudos to him for making it happen, because I don't know if I can get away with it. I don't know if I could do it or not. But it was a lot of fun, though. It was a really great experience. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well,
Leo's chimed in and he asked, hey, what did you guys think the first time you came through this area? And I was just like, oh, that's a great question. That's awesome. So it was cool to have moments like that.
Yeah, it was. And like I said, Kingsley was trying to control something that was
all the cats.
That was uncontrollable.
I think people were drinking.
Oh yeah,
we were having fun.
Nosy was nosy, and Sin, I think, was even getting into the band.
Sin was Sin.
But dude, I'm a big part of your Discord as well, and I've been watching. You guys have been growing by leaps and bounds, man. It seems like every time I turn around, there's new people joining your Discord. Your clan's just about maxed out now, I think. And man, you guys are killing it, man. You guys help so many people do raids. Yeah, I've been very impressed, man.
Oh, thanks. And the point isn't to grow just to grow, but it's to help people find a place to play with others. And, raiding is a big priority for me, but I'm never going to try to downplay people that want to, of course, use the Discord for PvP, group ups, Gambit, whatever. Obviously we have people like Azanis in there, a huge Gambit fan, but I just feel like the more places people have to turn to find groups, the better. And yeah, you're right. Our clan is pretty much getting maxed out. Every once in a while I have to see if there's anyone we can clear off that hasn't played for like 8 months or whatever. But I don't know. It's kind of running to that point. Like, will we eventually have to create another one, which I do not want to do. I kind of don't like the ideas of these bigger groups that have had like Group A and Group B. And, it used to be the PC guys over here and the Xbox guys over there, but I don't want that separation. And so that's why it's been good, but it's a little scary now on what we need to do on that aspect.
Yeah, and there's going to be crossplay eventually. We all know it's coming.
Yeah.
So once crossplay's in, then it won't even matter if you're in an Xbox clan or whatever. Because there was a bunch of people that play Xbox in our clan. I feel so bad because it's so hard to jump over on Xbox to run stuff, because I have to blow the dust off my Xbox One X over here, and then I have to do all the updates and everything. I just don't use the console much. And Bungie, please, sooner than later, let's get that crossplay going, because
well, and the clans up to 200 or more would really be helpful also.
Yes, it would. Yeah, definitely.
Or why have a cap on them at all?
Yeah,
I don't understand. I never understood that, why they could only do 100 on a clan. I guess over 100 they probably felt that it was too big to be able to people to join up and do stuff together. I'm like, no. What do you think a Discord is?
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to mention that because I've been really impressed with it.
I didn't have too much else to say. I just we enjoy what we're doing and still trucking on the podcast too. I mean,
yeah.
How are you guys? Just a quick question for you guys. I mean, we're at 68 tonight. We are at 83, so we're still pretty close. I know sometimes podcasts kind of like around this point or 100 or so. 100's always exciting because it's 100, and then you get excited again. But like, we've seen plenty of podcasts, especially Destiny podcasts, come and go. How are you guys feeling with everything?
Hazel?
I mean, I don't really see us like slowing down or anything like that. I mean, we've got some surprises coming up. We were going to do a clan cast, supposed to be tonight, but there was just like we didn't have enough of a turnout, and we were just kind of wanting to see like some more people kind of step up and kind of say, hey, this is, what we did and that kind of thing. But I think it might be better if we push that till maybe after Beyond Light comes out, So that way we can go ahead and say, hey, this is the stuff that we're doing, and have more to talk about than right now where pretty much there's nothing going on.
Yeah, I second that. I felt that once the DLC comes out, everyone's going to have their opinions on what they think about it, and I think that'd be a good time to have a clan night. But it's coming. We just rescheduled it. We are going to have a clan night where anybody in our clan who wants to participate, just let us know, and we'll definitely put that together. I mean, we can hold quite a few people in our podcast chat here. So, but yeah, I mean, you have up and down weeks when you podcast. You'll have weeks where you're like, maybe I should just take a break, or, that thought occurred. I mean, I'm sure that thought's occurred to you, Hazel, where it's like, geez, we just finished one. It's already due again to do this week. But I just love this game, man. And I feel that if I'm not doing it every week, I'm letting a lot of people down. And that's what drives me. That's what drives me to do this podcast, is that I know there's people out there listening who want to hear this old ass guy talk, and then Hazel be a smart ass and make fun of me and laugh about it. And I mean, that's kind of our shtick, that's what's gotten us this far. And of course I love talking to people. I mean, I love interviewing people in the community, and that's the basis of our podcasts. And I think we're building up good momentum here. I'm really happy about where we're at. So,
yeah. And one thing I'll add on too is I was listening to Focus Fire Chat, and they actually gave us a shout out because Blue was talking about his time on our show, and he's just like,
yeah,
he compared us to DCP, and
wow.
I was like,
that's
they're more like interview heavy.
Yeah.
He's like, and that was good though. He enjoyed that. And I was just like,
yeah, I heard that too. That was awesome, Blue. Thank you for that shout out, by the way. And yeah, it seems to me, I don't know about you, Hazel, what you think, but it seems like we're getting to know more and more of the podcast community in Destiny lately. And especially with our guests, we have guests from Twitch, from YouTube, from the lore community, and I've just been, I've been giddy, man. There's some nights I'm a little nervous, and I don't get starstruck easily. And there's been some nights where I'm just like, wow, I cannot believe we're talking to this guy or gal, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it helps that we're also, taking this long ass break, but yeah.
Well, Kingsley, I have to ask you this because it's like every show I got to ask this question. I know you've been on the show several times, but is there one other thing out there that no one might not know about you?
Yeah, that's a good question, because actually I don't think you did ask me that before.
I did not? Well,
and
my apologies.
No, this is great, because I do have, I feel like this question sometimes comes up in like those funny like team meetings, or you know what I mean. I'm not saying it's not original, you saying it, but like it doesn't come up often. But I have a really good one. So
I can't wait.
I grew up in Southern California, 20 minutes from Disneyland. So I worked at Disneyland out of high school, and it was a cool experience. And a lot of people, that alone, it's like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. And I mean, just when you live down there, it's an easy default job for a lot of people to get right outside of high school because they need so many employees. Of course, things are different now, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but right. Good experience, good pay. I loved working there. I actually appreciated the place more because I could see how everything worked behind the scenes. And at least when I was working there, things were really good.
What'd you do there?
I was a ride operator.
Really?
They called them attractions hosts.
Nice.
Here's another little secret. Nice. When you go for a job, there's so many positions available. You don't just, and I learned from people that started before me, their friends that were older or whatever. And they said, you don't just go in and say, oh, I want a job. You go in and they start interviewing, and it'll either come up or you can say at some point, I think I'd really like to work in attractions because I would love working on the rides. I feel like I could do that well, customer interaction, everything like that. And more than likely, if you put your case forward, they'll put you in the department you want. So you don't ask for anything, and then they put you in food services or, something nice. That you may not like.
I always thought you had to work there a while to get to be the ride operator. That's awesome.
Well, once you're a ride operator, there's lower status rides and higher status rides.
Okay.
Sorry, this is going into a longer conversation.
No. I want to know what ride you did. I want to know what ride you did now.
Yeah. Was it a high status?
Was it the Dumbo ride?
So
I got to know this now.
Actually, okay. Oh my gosh, I could talk for hours about this, but actually the Dumbo ride is part of a circuit in the Fantasyland area where it's not just one ride. They'll put you on a few different rides and you circuit around. Actually, that was a little more higher status because working the Fantasyland rides was really chill. You could sit down a lot. People liked it.
Nice.
So that was probably not the highest status, but it was up there. But anyways, I started on a lower one because everyone will start on a lower one at first, unless you get hired in to be a face character or in the parades, then you're hired in for that. And that's a higher status thing. But, and lower status, by the way, are the Mickey, Minnie Mouse, the ones that have masks and stuff because,
gotcha.
Whatever.
You got to be a certain. I think you got to be a certain size too. I think, don't you?
Yeah, you do. But it's hot in there, and people don't like those jobs as much as a face character. You can actually pretend to be the person even more.
Yeah.
But anyways, I started on the submarine ride. That was a lower status ride. The original submarine ride, before they changed it to now it's revamped as the Finding Nemo ride.
Nice.
So this was back in 95, 96 when I first had a job there. It shows my age, I guess. And
yeah, but the thing about that ride, Kingsley, is you're not in the sun, man. It's nice and dark in there, and air conditioning.
That is very true. Well, every ride you loop around in different positions, so we do. Okay. I did have to go out in the sun some to do the loading dock, and then you rotate on this 15-minute schedule. So when you do a ride, you do everything. So you'll start off in the front of the queue, greeting people. Then you'll be the loading position. Then you'll be the driving position, and then you'll get a break. And then you'll come back, and it goes around in this circle.
Wow, that is cool.
But still, the submarine ride was a lower status ride. I mean, it does get kind of boring just standing in there. Just all you're really doing is controlling the forward and reverse because they're on tracks. But you can control the forward and reverse and whatever. But just to make the story shorter, I did move up to a high status ride very quickly within my second summer of being there because I just worked summers and Christmases as a seasonal worker. Mm-hmm. I got to do Space Mountain. That's one of the highest status rides.
Nice.
Ooh, look at you, overachiever.
I loved that ride. So all the rides I worked on was the Submarine ride, Space Mountain, Thunder Mountain. I also did Thunder Mountain was really cool too. I also did some guest control, Phantasmic, the people that kind of guide and help people with where to stand and where to go. But it's more involved. It's actually kind of a fun thing because you get to watch the show too, kind of when you're interacting with people. And, just some parades, some stage shows, but really the rides I liked the most, Space Mountain, Thunder Mountain.
Man, that's so cool. What's funny is I never worked at Disney and I was 30, 45 minutes away as a kid. I never, I didn't want to do that. I just didn't want to drive. It was probably a good, like I said, 45-minute drive both ways or each way.
And people would drive an hour and a half sometimes to work at Disney.
To make minimum wage. I mean, they didn't make a ton of money there, but
we did. Maybe Disney World wasn't as good, but our payment, even in 95, 96, was $10 an hour way back then.
Wow. Yeah, it was.
So that was Disney's minimum wage.
It was a little higher than minimum wage, but I could do that anywhere in town. And let's face it, I didn't have the greatest car back then in high school, and I don't know if I could have made that drive every day or every 3 or 4 days. Yeah. I don't think I could have made it. And my dad was in the construction business, and he wanted me helping him, and I've always wanted to do that. Now my daughter has made up for it because she's worked at Volcano Bay at Universal. She's done a lot of stuff. She was working in the prop department or getting involved in the prop department before COVID. And she really was getting into stuff over there at Universal, but never had the opportunity to do that. Did you ever do that for Adventure? What's it called? Adventure Mountain over there, Hazel? Kings Island? Did you ever do any of that stuff?
No, I lived north of here when I was growing up, so I avoided all of that bullshit. So
okay, I got you.
Yeah. But hey,
story,
Kingsley,
me too. Sorry, because we got sidetracked. I just do have to tell the story because you'll love this. It's really quick. That's not the thing. I got sidetracked and telling what's working at Disneyland. The thing that people don't know me, I usually start the story just saying I used to work at Disneyland. The thing that people don't know is I actually broke down a ride.
What?
So I was getting trained on Thunder Mountain, And during the training, they show you what to do if you have to reset the ride, like if the ride just stops for safety reasons or something goes wrong. And you have to like cycle these tracks and run the trains through all the trains just to make sure it's safe again to get started. And they also have an area in the back where a track switches, kind of like a A/B switch, kind of like train tracks or something, you know,
Right.
to bring trains on and off from the storage bay area. And they always said before you bring the next one on, you cycle the track back and forth. Even if it's already in position, you want to cycle it to the other position and back because you want to make sure that it'll stay locked and it's good.
Right.
So I don't know if I misunderstood, like you always do that no matter what. That's how I understood it. But the ride had broken down. But what happened was, well, okay, broken down isn't the right term. That's what people always assume. But like for some safety reason, the computer shuts down the ride. Usually it's from like a customer being stupid and making their arms go out too far to the side or taking too long to load. And so it gets backed up or something.
Okay.
But they have to shut down the ride because there's so many trains on the track and they want to stop them so one won't hit the other one, you know, so they have to stop them in safety areas.
Sure.
Well, this one had stopped on top of the switch right there.
Oh.
And I was in the position of resetting the ride back there, and I was new. It was like my first week on the job. And we're going through the thing, and I'm like all excited. I'm like, I remember the steps. Okay. And then the tower is going to say, start train 1. And then the tower is going to say, okay, the back train can go forward now. Well, the tower said that. And then cycled the switch, boom, boom. And it derailed the train. Now, it doesn't sound as bad as it was. It's not like the whole thing went crashing off and caused billions of dollars. But still, what happened was like one cart back, it just kind of skipped off the rails just a little teeny bit. And they had to call in maintenance and they had to shut it down even more and have them get it back on the track. I felt so stupid.
That makes me smile.
So what we got out of that conversation, kids, is if you're looking for a job once this pandemic stuff is over, ask to be a ride operator.
Ask for what you want.
Yeah. That's
yes,
so cool.
That is true. Sorry for the long story.
No, thank you for that.
Good.
Thank you for that, man.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Yes.
What did you do to get promoted to one of the high-profile rides?
Even that, I feel like it's not that hard. You just have to make sure you're always on time. And you have to schmooze a little bit with the ride schedulers. They're the ones that kind of will give you positions. And whenever there was a lot of them needing people to almost work like overtime back then. Or they would want to change your schedule because someone needed some time off work. And if you're always available saying, yes, I'll change my schedule, no worries, no worries. If you kiss up to the schedulers, they're the ones, the first line of defense that would recommend you to the management of the area. So that was management of Tomorrowland. And plus, I think you can even tell them like, oh, I'm interested in Space Mountain. And okay, we'll think about it. But usually so many people would say that and it's like, whatever. But for a reason, I got recommended. So I was happy.
Nice, man. That's awesome. I'm glad I asked that question. I wasn't going to put that in tonight. And I was like, you know what? That's such a cool question. I always get great answers. So I just couldn't leave it out. Well, thanks for that, man.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Anything you want to ask him, Hazel, before we move on?
Well, one thing that we usually ask people when they come back is, how are you doing, man? What you been up to?
Yeah, we didn't ask him that. Shit, sorry. Sorry, Kingsley.
Hey, we just have a conversation going. It's all good. I mean, this can be shorter. Yeah, I'm doing good. Hopefully everyone's doing good with like COVID and everything. I mean, you know, business is good for me. I've been lucky the whole way along running my own business where IT has not gone down at all. If anything, it's increased because so many people need to work from home and have VPNs going and their networks have to be reliable more than ever before, I feel like. So things are good with me. You know, one thing I have a question for Gator is, as I've been running my business, and do you have employees? I'm trying to remember.
I used to. I used to have several, and man, I'll tell you what, it's tough having employees today. It's very expensive.
And I never wanted to have employees. I never have. I know some other businesses will say like, oh, if you don't have employees, you can never grow, and you're stupid if you don't grow. And I always feel like talked down to when I hear that because I don't know, like my job, the amount of money I make every year has been pretty stable, if not like a small, you look at the graph and it goes slightly up over year by year. Nothing big. obviously I know if I'd have to grow big, I'd have employees, but I just like what I'm doing as a one-man shop. So I just was wondering what your opinions were on that. And
okay, there's two ways you can run a business, and I decided on one way. I don't know if you've ever read or listened to the audiobook, The E-Myth. It's all about systemizing a business where you can plug the lowest common denominator into your business, press the play button, and they make money. There's a system in place if they do something wrong, et cetera, et cetera. I tried doing that back in 2006, and I had even some of my best friends working for me, and it was a disaster, to say the least. People took advantage. My system obviously wasn't foolproof, and if you're going to grow a business, then you have to if you want to grow it big, you have to systemize it. So it's a kind of thing where you have to make a decision whether you're going to just be a solo operator, like a doctor, for instance. If he doesn't go to work, he doesn't make any money. So we're kind of in the same boat. I chose to just do it myself. It's an honest living. Yes, I have to do all the work myself. I have to do all the accounting. I have to do all the everything. And it makes it tough. But once you get a system down for yourself, it can be a really stress-free life and very profitable way of living. And of course, you're at the mercy of markets. You're at the mercy of your customers. I tell people, I don't work for myself. I have 250 bosses, and they can all fire me at any time. The only difference is if one of my 250 bosses fires me, it's okay. I have 249 other bosses that'll take me back the next day. So most people don't have that luxury. You have one boss, and if your boss is a dick and is looking to get it out for you, then that can be.
I know, and I feel for everyone's. I've been in that situation in the past, also with jobs I've had in the past.
Me too.
I totally get it. I'm not trying to act like I'm above that, but it's hard. And I'll tell you one other thing that I worry about that other people don't have to as much is I'm getting scared. Like, how do I deal with exit plan? Like, how long I'm going to do this? Do I try to sell it to someone? Do I have enough for retirement? Like all those things, because I don't want to be doing this when I'm 60, 70 and then all of a sudden
retirement,
no interested in taking over the business, or whatever.
The retirement's the hardest part of, and what I tell people, I don't own my own business. I just own my own job. I mean, the chains are my own. That's what I tell everybody. That's what they even say in the E-Myth. They say if you don't systemize your business, that you're never going to grow. You can, like I said, I don't want to bore our listeners, but that's basically in a nutshell. You can go one of two paths when you're in your own business. And I chose to be, when I had employees and I had systems in place and everyone, worked and stuff, I was more stressed than ever. I was so stressed, and it's just not the way I decided I'm not living that way. So I decided just to simplify the business, and I do. I'm in the pest management business. It's certainly not the most glamorous business, and my uncle was in the business, and he's a millionaire now. And he says, people used to look down at me like I was just the lowly pest control guy. And they didn't even realize that I had a beach house, a house in the cabin, in the mountains. They didn't realize all the things I had in life because I worked hard. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm not in that position, but I'm not bragging, but I'm just saying. Yeah. I mean, my destiny's my own, and as long as the world doesn't fall, nice pun. As long as the world doesn't fall apart tomorrow, then I feel pretty good about my future. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway,
cool.
How do we get on that conversation?
Well, we were talking about. I asked you the question. So,
okay.
You didn't actually sidetrack it yourself, Gator. I did.
Okay. Only Kingsley would turn a ketchup into his own podcasting style. That's a podcaster, man.
I love hearing from you guys. Also, you know how it is.
Yeah, I know it is. Occupational hazard. Who is this guy in our Discord? Some other dude in our Discord here.
I'm just kind of curious how Kingsley can run a one-man show, but run a three-man podcast. His IRL is one man, but he manages other people in a podcast. I'm just kind of curious how that works.
Hey, Sin from the Guardian Hub podcast. How you doing, buddy?
I am well, sir. How are you doing?
Very good, sir. I'm magical. And
I love it.
Well, I get Kingsley. I guess that question was asked to you, sir.
It doesn't even make sense. I'm not managing anything. You guys are. I'm just chilling. I'm having fun. No, I as far as asking questions, I mean, this is, as we all know, the Destiny and the podcast stuff is a way to de-stress from the long days. I mean, I know Sin definitely has the much crazier job than probably any of us here. And it's nice to, when we have a chance to sit down and play Destiny and podcast, and hopefully it is a cathartic experience for all of us.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure.
Exactly.
Definitely.
And just to tell you how bad it is, I just looked at my time card today because even as a manager, I still clock in. I have to punch a clock from Saturday. So mine runs a Saturday, Friday cycle. So from Saturday to this Friday, I have put in 70 hours already, not including my drive.
Damn, son. Hopefully you're selling a lot of cars, man.
It always could be better. I mean, you know, as sales guys, it's never enough.
It's never enough. I got a buddy who's been in sales forever, and it's every month it's bigger. Got to sell more. It never ends.
And that's because it's always the guys at the top looking at numbers and spreadsheets, and they always want more and more.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Well, let me ask you guys, since you're both here, how's the Guardian Hub podcast going? Do you guys have any plans in the future you want to?
Since we're here, I guess we might as well tell you next week is our last episode. No,
no.
I think it's good, at least as far as me. Exactly what you were saying. You know, there's times where I'm like, do we really need to find another guest? So I'm kind of at the point, like, if anyone ever recommends a guest, I'm gonna, be happy. I still have some ideas of people I want to recommend to be on the show, but I don't want to stress about things. So that's why I love that we had Des Raven on now too. So even if there's no guest, we have at least one other person that can kind of just, shoot the shit with us and talk about stuff.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Again, the reason why I started this podcast, and I feel like we'll be fine, is I've seen other podcasts come and go, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But I kind of wanted to tell myself, if I'm going to start a podcast, will it be worth it for me? And for how much I play the game, even in the quote downtimes, I knew I could keep a podcast going. That was my goal. Again, if I change my mind tomorrow, that's fine too. I'll let people know that. But for me, I don't have any reason why I would see this stopping anytime soon. We're past this big lull. So it's going to be easy to podcast now for the next several months. But even next year, when it goes through another lull, I could see we'll be totally fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think overall, we've done pretty well. We've been thriving, and we've had newer people jumping in all the time. It's not every single day, but every now and again, we'll get people that jump in. But I think the group that we got, and everybody plays well together, which is really, really cool. And everybody, we get a lot of people, I would say, that are engaged in the Discord, engaged in playing, and it is chill. I like that part of it. It's super nice.
Yeah, okay. I love our community. I love that we all three Discords, the Two Titans and a Hunter, and the Guardian Hub and the Guardian Down, all us podcast, we all game together. That's what I love about this. And I never would have counted on any of this happening, and I've grown to love your community as well, guys. I've raided with a lot of your guys. We did the raid along last week, and it's just so cool. I never expected something like this to happen. And I mean, shit, me and Hazel thought we'd just be sitting by ourselves in a Discord talking to each other. and now
pretty much.
Yeah. So good, man. Sin, I was just saying how your Discord is just booming, man. I'm in it all the time, and every time I turn around, you got new people joining, and you guys help so many people with raids and other activities out there, and you guys have just really built an amazing community, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You guys really have.
The same with you all. It's and I don't get a lot of time. My time is super limited, unfortunately, but I try to pop in when I can. And I have ours on top, and your alls is just like right below it. So I try to keep all my top Discords right on top, just so they're top of mind for me.
Yeah, I'm my own worst critic, so I have to listen to my podcast first because I gotta critique myself, and then I listen. Usually, you guys are usually out the next day, but there's a ton of other podcasts I listen to as well. But us three, our three podcasts I listen to first every week.
Hey, since Sin's here, do you mind whether we want to do it on this segment or the next segment? A little special surprise that I have. Sin can stay for that.
Go ahead.
I'm excited for that.
What did I get myself into, Sin? I was just inviting you out of goodness of my heart, man. What's going on here?
You're bringing it on yourself.
Well, all right. What is this surprise? Hazel, do you have anything to do with this?
I had nothing to do with this.
Actually.
Okay.
Hazel has nothing to do with it.
I know what it is.
But he will have
everything to do with it. I mean, the world may never know.
Jesus. All right.
Let's go.
So this is called the speed run segment.
Wait a minute.
We asked the podcast host.
What?
You gotta say
several questions.
Here comes the reverse speed run.
Yes,
right
it's called the
after
reverse
this.
speed run.
Oh, God damn it. Okay. You literally have questions.
Yes.
Oh
Yes, he
my
does.
God.
All right.
Who's supposed to
We can do it now.
I'm gonna be the official timekeeper.
Oh no.
I am now pulling up the
And
clock.
We're going to do
function
60
my
seconds
phone.
on the clock, and Hazel will be the quality control expert to make sure.
Hazel can't answer him? Oh shit.
No, it's just for you, Gator.
Me?
It's just for you, buddy.
Oh,
Mhm.
oh God.
All right.
And as per the official rules, as soon as Kingsleymac is done reading the first question, I will start the clock.
Okay.
All right. You ready, Sin? 60 seconds.
I am ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. How do you pronounce the word GIF?
A GIF.
Wrong. What is the best Destiny podcast out there?
Ooh. Well, I know the best hub on the net is the Guardian Hub.
Correct.
Is that your final answer?
Yes. Time's going, man.
Do you really like that
speedrun
one
ever.
the best? Do you really like that podcast the best?
Well, I mean, obviously, I have to be biased here. I mean, like the Guardian Down podcast.
Wrong.
What?
Okay.
What?
Which is the best Disney park in the world?
Disney World.
Wrong.
Huh?
Okay. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck
Oh my God.
if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
3. I don't know.
Wrong. How old am I?
38. No, 43.
Wrong.
Time.
Shit.
All right. Final score. What do we have?
God.
0.
What?
Wait.
That was easy.
No. I think he got
Congratulations.
one. He got the best hub on the net right. So we'll.
But that wasn't a question, though.
We're proud to announce.
He's
the
just saying
lowest-
facts.
Oh
We're
my
proud to
God.
announce the lowest scoring of the speed run is Gator.
Oh,
With
geez.
0 right.
You know what? I'll fall on that sword. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Did I read them fast enough?
No. Wrong.
Purposely, I did not.
Jeez. Okay. Yes.
I mean, at least you let him answer the last question, though.
I realize now, yes, I know how it feels when you're waiting for a question. Yes. Okay.
Do you love how I had questions that were like open ended? I could just say wrong no matter what.
I kind of got the gist of what I was heading into there after third question. So,
Oh man, sorry, we just had to do that.
nah, that was fun, man. Thanks. That's cool. I had it coming. Hazel likes to pile on. He did.
What I sat here.
Actually, I meant
and-
to have. Okay, if Sin wasn't in, Hazel probably could have backed me up more. But can you do a quality check on that, Hazel? How many did he actually get right?
0.
What?
All right.
What? Oh God. Jeez.
Hey, I'm just a victim here. I'm just a quality control expert.
So glad I invited Sen tonight. Wow. I says, Kingsley's been giving Sen crap. He took his admin rights away or something like that. I heard. I was hearing about it all the time. I think if I drank every time Sen said, "Oh, well, I've lost my admin rights, so what am I supposed to do?" I probably would have been dead drunk by the time that raid was over.
You know what? Tonight was a good night, even though I worked. I got to drink, about a shot of Bumbu before leaving. Me and the other manager had a shot.
Nice.
You had messaged just about that time, and I'm like, man, I know what's coming for Gator. And that was just like the perfect time.
Oh my God.
I was like, I have to get in on this.
Yes.
So it was perfect timing you invited.
Oh my God. I've just set myself
I've
up.
talked to Sin about it before.
As usual. I've set myself up for it. And I've got the legal documents here that I guess I've been served. I guess I gotta appear in court on the 5th or something like that. I don't know.
Ian, what's this about these sound clips I've been hearing pop up in the
Yeah. Somebody's been doing sound clips. That was my job.
Somebody does it better, apparently.
I don't know. All I heard was something about hands were being too big.
Yeah. Or not big enough, apparently.
Or, yeah, not big enough.
Oh my God. I'm in hell right now.
Off the rails.
Did not realize I was heading into this tonight. Jesus. No,
I'm sure that you'll get more clips, Okay, Zen? I'm sure.
I missed one. I told Kingsley this the other night. I missed one. I jotted down the timestamps in a doc on my phone, and then I forgot which episode it was.
Oh, that's too bad.
There's so many good ones out there.
I know.
Don't worry. Hazel chuckles every time I put my foot in my mouth.
It's just like a schoolgirl.
Well, thanks for nothing, Sen.
He kept time.
Oh, right.
I did.
Yeah. Nice.
I
Thanks
did.
for that. Yeah.
Jeez. The guy break. He lost his admin rights.
Yeah, I know.
Did you ever
So
get
I
him
had
back?
Yes, he finally reinstated me.
Okay.
It only took him about 24 hours.
We're friends again.
Unbelievable. Well, thanks for that, guys. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
I had no idea it was heading this way, but I guess I can't edit that out, can I?
No. Or else that lawsuit is moving forward.
Okay. Got you. I'll post it on the show.
Yowza.
Wow. Well, thanks, guys. I think it's time to move on to This Week at Bungie right after this. This Week at Bungie, Hazel, what do we got? Just a little bit?
No. Actually, they didn't even do a TWAB this week.
No?
What?
No TWABs.
I got the top secret TWAB then. You missed that?
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I missed that one. Is that the one where they said that they're not really pulling anything back? They're renaming it Destiny Online and
New engine. New engine. I see it.
New engine. Yeah.
There it is.
That TWAB?
It was that 12, but guess what it's dated, though?
Oh.
2022.
Okay.
That was fun. Okay. So there was a TWAB. You can relax, Des. So in that TWAB, they talked about the trailer, which was the launch trailer for Beyond Light. So with it, what do you guys think about this? Did it get you hyped? Did it pee on your blanket? What was it?
Matt
definitely got me hyped.
Massive Breakdown played that song today on their latest podcast. And I was like, God, I love that song. Black by hold on,
Paint It Black. Yeah,
Paint It Black.
Yeah.
By Styx. Was it Styx who did that?
Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just I'm playing along now.
Nickelback by Nickelback.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So yeah, what do you guys think about this trailer?
Hype. I mean, we always know they have good trailers, but it was cool to see some more. I mean, yeah, they always ride that fine line where they tend to go over it a little bit and almost spoil some stuff, but at least they don't spoil too much. It's not like they're showing us stuff that we would know is inside the new strike or the raid or things like that. But boy, it's pretty exciting seeing everything. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk more about details maybe later on, but yeah, just to answer your question, I thought it was exciting.
It got me so hyped that I almost didn't do the podcast tonight and go play Destiny. I was pumped, man. That music and all the action scenes, I loved it. I thought it was great. Kudos to Bungie. They know how to promote their product.
Yeah, they definitely do. I mean, hands down, it really did get me hyped, and I had to kind of wait on. I still haven't pre-ordered it yet, so I'm still just kind of holding out a little bit. But it was definitely hard to do it after that. So the other thing in the TWAB was they released a Vidoc on Tuesday. Correct. Congratulations, Gator. You got the date right.
Yes, I got something right. Yes.
What'd you guys think about this?
Well, of course, that was good too. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Now this Vidoc is gonna it spoiled the shit out of fucking everything.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, that one did more so, right? I mean, we still don't know. I don't think they went over the line too much. Again, I like to kind of get spoiled somewhat, but they're not like showing us like every little aspect of what each story mission will be. But we do have a lot of interesting things that I don't know if we want to go into it now or later, but I do have to bring up at some point about what's coming back with Cosmodrome and that stuff.
Get into it, man.
And the size of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just get into it.
First of all, Hazel, I mean, you say you're still on the fence, but we did hear official news from Luke Smith that this is good and bad news. It's going to be a smaller DLC than Forsaken.
Right.
But larger than Shadowkeep.
Exactly, yeah. Yep, that was in a Twitch stream that he did after the Vidoc, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Which I was watching that one live. And I guess we were kind of expecting that. We were hoping he would say something like, oh, it's pretty close to the size of Shadowkeep, but he didn't quite say that. He just said smaller but larger than, Forsaken, but he just said smaller than Forsaken, larger than Shadowkeep. This is to be expected, I guess, but at the same time, it's I'm not salty. I'm not like super like worried, but I was a little disappointed when I first saw the map of the Cosmodrome. They snuck a little map in, and we can see how much of the Cosmodrome is coming back. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we knew that we weren't going to be getting the Plague Lands because they had already said that in a previous TWAB or something. I forget what it was.
Yeah, correct.
But they did sneak in a little map of the Cosmodrome. And I was going to do this even before Tassie did, but Tassie came out with an article where he kind of overlaid. He took of what parts of the Cosmodrome compared to D1. And you can kind of see it's he's making it sound a little more Doomsday than what I was thinking, but it's kind of like at best half of the Cosmodrome.
I heard
back right away.
I heard almost all of it except the Divide. Mm-hmm. That's what I heard today.
No, if I can send you a map of this. The Divide, Rocket Yards, King's Watch, all that area is also not coming back.
Okay, well that's a bit more then. Yeah. Okay.
If you look at it, it's kind of like the left half. Approximately.
Okay. I know the Cosmodrome so well. I've played so many hours on that damn place. I know what you're talking about exactly. Yeah.
But I imagine what's going to happen, because I'm not ultimately worried, is we know we're getting just the one strike, Will of Crow. Well, actually, there's stuff to say about that too. Oh my gosh, there's so much to say. But we know we're getting that one strike right away. But they said within year one, we're getting 2 more Cosmodrome strikes. Well, I imagine what's going to happen is not only are we getting more strikes throughout the year, but they'll open up more of the map. I'm really thinking that's going to happen even in this year. We're not going to have to wait another year. Now, that's my bold prediction. They'll be open up more of the map within this next year of Destiny, and they've never done anything with that seasonal content before to kind of keep it exciting throughout the year.
Yeah, I've got more to say about that later. After,
well, if you have something to say about it, I mean, you can say it now.
No, it's pertaining to.
We have so much to talk about. We do go any direction.
We do. I know, and I don't want. I want to make sure we get the information of the TWAB out for our listeners, and then expand on it after, because we can definitely go down a rabbit hole. What comes to that.
Okay, so then what do you think of the TWAB, Gator? Or not the TWAB, I'm sorry, the Vidoc.
Did you guys pick up that Azivu Arath has been fleshed out? And they're going to further the Savathun storyline? Well,
they have to.
Well, I mean, no, they haven't talked
DLC.
about... They haven't talked about Azivu Arath in so long. I mean, since Destiny 1. I'm love that we're starting to hear that name at least. So at least know that it is going to be doing something in our world. And that part I definitely picked in on. But you know what, though? It seemed to me like the first half of the Vidoc was just filler. And you know what? We could probably chalk this up to COVID and the pandemic, and we aren't going to get those great studio shots that they did last year. But it seemed like they told us a lot of what we already knew at the beginning, and it was mainly just for people who maybe this is all they're going to see about Destiny. But then they started getting into some of the storylines, and like you said, they came close to some spoilerish stuff. But I don't think they
close.
I don't think they spoiled anything. But
what?
No, I don't think
did.
So.
We'll talk about some, unless it's a mistake. They definitely spoiled some things about the strike. We can talk about that now.
Okay.
I guess that people don't want to listen. But
pause right now for 60 to 120 seconds, and then we'll see you in a minute.
Yeah, but I don't get it, because they said the will of the Crotus, or that strike is coming back from D1, but in this Vidoc, the strike was named something different, and the boss name was something different too. It was like what? Boy, I should have this pulled up, but it was like Neravek, some N-word or something. It wasn't Omnigul.
Neravek? I don't know that. I don't know that name.
So you can pause the Vidoc. It's not called the Will of Crota Strike. When they actually have a screenshot, it shows the name of the strike in the upper corner, and it says fight so and so, and it's not Omnigul. So we're kind of thinking that even though the strike layout might look the same, it'll be a little more interesting, because it won't just be the same old Omnigul that we've been fighting.
Okay. All right.
That makes me sad.
Yeah. I miss their screams.
Or maybe it's just Omnigul's new name.
Could be. Maybe it's her sister. Maybe it's her sister.
I mean, they still showed that hallway where all the Thrall were. That's where they had it paused. Kind of like when you're coming in the last part to where Omnigul is, and there's all the Thrall running at you.
Oh, yeah.
That's where they showed the awesome, by the way, that Warlock.
The Warlock, yeah.
The power. I'm going to be so excited running that, at least in PvE stuff.
Yes, sir.
Shows all the Thrall just like popping away from that power.
So. Yep, definitely. No, I mean, but yeah, I mean, overall, I'm a big fan of the Vidocs, and I was a little disappointed, I gotta say. It felt a little short, but I guess I should have expected that, being the situations we're in now. And did Luke Smith look like he was kind of out of it? What was up with his hair, man?
Well, no, that was the Twitch video. The Twitch video, that was
no, in the Vidoc too. He was.
Did you see the Twitch stream, man?
No, he was even more out of it.
I didn't see that. I didn't see the Twitch
looked
stream.
Like he was drugged in the Twitch stream.
Do me a favor. Stop what you're doing right now. Pull out your phone. And look at the picture of fucking Luke Smith. You have to do this, and then you're gonna go like, oh my god, like he rolled out of bed and just like did a Twitch stream.
I'm telling you,
dude, you need to look at this, man.
Okay, I'm looking at it. All right.
No, like his eyes look like they're like drugged over or something.
So yeah, it's like he's been playing COD too much.
What am I? Oh, Luke Smith interview Twitch. All right.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of Reddit stuff here, so I got to find it. Okay, Twitch. Okay, Twitch gaming.
This is worth it, dear listener.
What is? Yeah.
They're
wondering
yes.
if they're going to need to keep copies of every piece of armor that they.
Sorry, I don't want to get copyright.
That's transmog. Yeah. Yeah, they do talk about transmog. Don't expect anything in season 12. But while we're on the subject of it there.
Sure.
Basically that if it's in your collections tab, it'll be in your transmog ability.
Man,
that's really good news.
The pandemic has not served him well. Luke Smith in my dream looks much more robust. Wow.
Oh, I bet he did look robust in that bathroom.
Sin, don't you dare clip that. I mean, he seemed, he almost seemed like he was ill during the Vidoc even. He just had no energy. And you know what? Maybe he's the entire head of everything. Maybe he just he's just worn down, man. I'm sure there's some. I don't think Destiny does crunch, but who knows? I mean, the upper management and the people in the up, that have to coordinate stuff. It may just be starting to take a toll on him,
Or he's just chilling too much. He's actually not working as much, and he's just like, I can do whatever these days.
I know my son loves it when that just got out of bed look. That seems to be something he loved to always look like too, but I don't know.
Yeah, but your son's not like 40.
No, yeah, but Luke Smith's a gamer. I mean, come on.
We love him. He was awesome, but I am getting a little worried.
I was a little concerned.
So, all right. Well, Vidoc and Twitch discussion there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm trying to think. Was there anything else from the Twitch stream? I think there was like one other thing. I'm just trying to.
Here's the name of the strike, so people aren't yelling and you can correct me or us in the Discord. It's they changed the name of it to the Disgraced, and it says Defeat Navota, Navota. So maybe they're just tricking us here, and that's going to be a semi-boss before Omnigul. But still, the whole thing about it's kind of fishy, kind of weird, and maybe potentially exciting. Or maybe disappointing.
All right, like Hazel said. I got to mention this since we're on the subject of the Vidoc. I was listening to the last Destiny Down Under podcast, and Mylan Games was talking about the lore with Clovis Bray and how this was a really bad dude, and how he, their family has a genetic disorder. They have, they're very, I guess, have genetic issues. So he actually sacrifices his son and turns him into an exo. And it was really creepy stuff. But this is according to Mylan Games, so don't at me. He thinks the raid is going to be something to do with Clovis Bray. And how we're going to be digging around in the...
What?
What's it called? The
Deep Stone Crypt.
Yes, and we're gonna.
Wow.
We're gonna.
Really?
No,
is that news?
No. The way he said it is we're gonna be in there and trip something that creates a boss that becomes something in the raid.
And let me guess, the boss looks like the emblem picture that's all over the internet these days.
Okay, just laugh it up, fuzzball. Fun, whatever. It was just enlightening to me because I didn't know Clovis Bray himself would be involved in this. I mean, I know it was his facility. And,
it'd be awesome, actually. He's like in some stasis himself, and then he comes out and he starts getting like Iron Man stuff all on him. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, God, yeah. I don't think we're going to be fighting Clovis Bray per se, but he said something about how we're going to be fidgeting around and trip something or put something into motion that creates the boss.
Tripwire grenade.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that you can deactivate.
Yeah, exactly. And how we're gonna put something in motion that actually creates the raid boss. I don't know. We'll find out, right?
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. I thought that was a cool idea.
I would appreciate that concept. So dear listener, if you're unaware, in the TWAB, something else they actually talked about was the calendar for Season of the Hunt. Spoiler alert if you didn't know what the next season was. But yeah, it's called Season of the Hunt. And on November 21st, the raid opens. And coincidentally enough, the name of the raid is the Deep Stone Crypt.
Imagine that.
Wow. It's like we didn't already know that.
Huh.
Anyway. Yeah. So that was actually the next thing on my list here. So was the calendar here. So, again, I mean, with this, one of the questions actually in the Discord was that there was a lot of information or a lot of items under the free for all. So like a new destination. So like if you don't pay a dime, you still get to go to Europa. You still get to experience the new Cosmodrome. You get the new season armor, new exotic weapons even. A new exotic weapon. I'll say it like that. A new strike, new lost sectors, 100 plus seasonal ranks, artifact mods, triumphs, shaders, emblems, Iron Banner, and the Dawning.
Wait a minute.
So that's all for free.
No, wait a minute. I don't have to buy the expansion or anything, and I get to play this stuff.
By nothing.
Stuff that's mentioned, so far.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Get all that for free.
That's a lot.
Well, I think it's a marketing thing. This has always been the case. Last year, we could also play the new strikes that came out on the free-to-play, and you can always go to the new destinations. Yeah, it is a good thing. So when it's DLC time, the free-to-play players have a little bit more to do, just a little bit more. But yeah, it is good that you get that. I still don't know if it's. I don't think people trying to see if they're going to be excited in the game should only try the free to play, because that's kind of unfair because you don't get the full experience.
Right.
So you may not know if you like the game or not. I get it. You don't want to put money until ahead of time, but really all the new players you're getting, guys, is one news and one returning strike and patrols on the new destination.
Yeah. Mention what are we getting for Beyond Light, Hazel? While we're looking at it here.
For Beyond Light, you get the campaign Beyond Light. That's not something that free to play players get. Stasis, we get that if you pay for it.
Okay.
Salvation's Grip exotic grenade launcher quest. So I'm guessing that's probably the seasonal track thing that you get.
Probably.
Yeah. So that's basically it. Now, again, I mean,
And
with
the raid
that,
for the DLC.
well, that's what I was going to say is, and then with the season, so all of that is like launch day stuff. Then like part of the season, because we all know, like when you buy Beyond Light, it comes with the first season. So with that,
it doesn't this year.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Let's get that.
Well,
Let's
if you buy the deluxe, but it doesn't come with it. Last year, if you bought the standard, you would get one season for free, which you didn't this year.
What is we were talking about this in Discord. What is the actual price of the deluxe that includes the DLC and all the
It's $69. It's $70 basically. Yep.
$69.99.
Yep.
So that's the DLC,
Everything.
Beyond Light, and all the seasons for the year. Okay. Mm-hmm. I thought it was less than that. I remember paying less, but maybe not.
No, because if you think about it, okay, so the base is 40 and there's 4 seasons, and the base doesn't get you that one season. So if you were to add 4 more $10 packs, that would actually be 80. So you're getting the discount by buying it together, and it's 70.
I see. I don't know why I'm questioning it, because all the hundreds and even maybe thousands of hours of entertainment I'm going to get out of that $70 is not even a blip.
Yeah, but do you guys think that we're going to get 4 seasons?
They actually did confirm. I didn't think we were at first, but Tassie said in an article that he was thinking there was only going to be 3, and Bungie, I can find this article, Bungie PR told him that there was going to be 4 for sure. And they haven't said it anywhere else, but they supposedly told him that it's for sure we're getting 4 seasons.
That's good to know. Yeah.
Wow.
But that's confusing, right? Because then do the seasons... I assume then we're just going to have to go to November next year then also.
Yeah, that's what
I was thinking that too. We're probably going to be, that's probably going to be the new release date every year now. So is in November. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. They can move things around any way they need to.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Yeah, they already ate the bullet now. So, Okay, so on November 10th, seasonal artifact and reward track unlocks, Empire hunts begin, and the Glassway Strike opens, which sounds sexy. 11/10 to January 12th, uncover Europa's secrets. Then adept weapons added to trials on the 13th. The 17th season mission begins. So that's I believe the thing where we're going around hunting the hive.
You mean the
Wrathborn hunts begin too.
You're talking about not Hive, the Fallen, right? The Fallen bosses, or is that what you meant? You said
the Hive.
It is. That's right. That's right. Gosh, I mean, I've seen this stuff so many times. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a long day.
You guys see what I have to put up with?
It's been a long day.
I'm the professional one.
We'll just continue the podcast, Hazel.
Just
okay.
I'm gonna just sit over here in the corner. You guys go ahead.
I've done my homework. I guess somebody else needs to. Anyway, the raid, like I said, opens up on November 21st. The first Iron Banner, December 8th, because we've been burnt out on Iron Banners. Then the Dawning, December 15th through January 5th, and then more.
And more.
Oh, wait, there's more. All right. So that's basically like the first 3 paragraphs of the TWAB.
So that's all, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Fucking an hour into the podcast, and here we are. Like, hey, we've covered 3 paragraphs. Yeah, exactly. And we caught up with Kingsley. That's the important thing.
I feel bad about Two Titans and a Hunter this week.
Oh, those poor guys. It's good. Their podcast can be longer than ours together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So moving into the TWAB.
All right.
So progression is going to, like Kingsley suggested and hinted at and hoped for, the soft cap at 1200, the hard cap at 1250, and pinnacle cap at 1260. That being said, all of everything is going to be brought up to 1050, and powerfuls can come from everywhere. So if you like running strikes, you're going to get powerfuls and strikes occasionally. But again, you can still do the core activities like Gambit, Crucible, and Strikes and still get your powerfuls that way. That's the most efficient way to do it. But if you're some glutton and you just like to run Strikes all day long, then you'll level up that way too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think of that?
I think it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Ooh, okay. I'm interested now.
Yes.
Now, why is it? Why is
the
it
2 steps forward part is how we can, even after our weekly quote powerfuls of doing 3 strikes and doing the bounties and everything, we can still continue to play strikes or whatever and have a chance of getting powerful rewards. So we can truly now just play the game how we want and finally get powerfuls. Kind of like
what a thought.
We were really getting with Umbrals last season anyways, in a way, up to the powerful cap. But it's just even, so who knows if we have some Umbral type thing again, or if easy or not, we'll just have the powerfuls. The step back, I guess you didn't get to it yet, but token turning in for vendors.
Yes.
Well, I'm just, you know what?
You can do it.
I just have to chime in here. I'm just so glad I spent all those upgrade modules that I paid a lot of money for to get all these exotics of mine to 1050, only for them to automatically flip next season automatically to 1050. Thank you, Bungie. Well, I'm glad I was able to spend all that time upgrading.
If you would have listened to me, sometimes I tell people, like, they're like, people have come back to Destiny even like the last few weeks, and they're like, I got to get leveled up. I'm like, no, you don't. Wait 2 weeks and it'll just level you up, so you didn't have to level up your exotics. At some point they would have, gotten
pretty
them
much.
Just level up the main ones you use.
Okay.
But anything that is above 1050 will stay above 1050. So if you have anything at 1051 to 1060, you're good. Don't worry. You're that stuff's going to carry over.
Okay.
So that's the cool stuff there.
What's the step? I'm curious what the step back is.
Token.
Oh, okay. Well, if you would have read the TWAB, you would know. But so basically, I love this job. RIP tokens. Tokens are going to be fucking worthless. Just kidding. Not really. So 20 power below is basically anything you get from tokens now. It's going to be 20 power below.
Wait. Does that include Iron Banner tokens?
I don't think they... I don't think so. I doubt it. I doubt it when it comes to Iron Banner, just because Iron Banner is
probably
going
just
to be
drop at level, but they're talking about like the Zavala farming slot machine thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Exactly. Like what I did.
I'm so happy I have 7,000 Crucible tokens what am I going to do with them?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think Sweatsickle is out there, and he had 12,000 tokens for each vendor. That's what he's been spending his time doing.
Wow.
And now with this, like, everybody's like making jokes, like, he's on suicide watch and things like this. But okay, so you view this as one step back, Kingsley. I want to know why. And also, by the way, real quick, while we're talking about this part, if you pull something, because so for those of you who don't know, what people would do, like myself, is to level up quick would be to pull stuff like out of your inventory, like your collections, get that leveled up, and then what you would do is you would just kind of replace that armor with something else from like one of the vendors. And if that was higher, then you just go ahead and buy another piece of armor and put that on. And then you just keep doing this instead of playing the actual game. And then you'd level up to your soft cap, and then you'd be able to go ahead and, from that point forward, go forth and on to greatness kind of thing.
Yeah, it was the way I used it. There's a lot of ways you could use it, but it was really to fill in slots of things that you weren't getting due to RNG. Like, let's say your powerful rewards were dropping on your helmet and your arms a lot, but you couldn't get that dang boots, And if everything was pretty high except for the boots, you could go to a vendor that would sell boots, even though it was randomly, keep throwing tokens at him. And there would be these rotations. You could use these websites and see who's dropping powerful rewards, or at levels, what they call it. So it's whatever your level is up to the hard cap. It doesn't go pinnacle, of course. And then you would go to that vendor and keep dropping until you've got boots. And then that would give you boots much higher level than you had. And then you could use that to fill in the blanks. So, well, I mean, okay, if I think about it a little bit more, I guess it's a half a step back. But I mean, here's the thing: like, ultimately, I'm not going to care that much. But when you are trying to level up fast, like last season, I did because I wanted to do the dungeon as quickly as possible because I love that content. And of course, this season with the raid coming out, it was nice to have these ways to fill in the blanks of pieces that we're not getting due to RNG. So it really wouldn't be that big of a deal if there'd be a little more protection built in so that when you get your powerfuls, they're not always going to helmet like 5 times in a row. And then we wouldn't even be worrying about this. God. We wouldn't be trying to play the Zavala slot machine.
That's true.
Yeah.
What do you think, Gator?
I mean, it seems like every time I'm trying to level up, I get 5 helmets. All at the same level, and I have something 20 base levels below on my, I don't know, my class item.
20 base level? Come on now.
All right, 10.
It's like 3.
10.
Maybe.
No, it's like 10. I'll have one thing that'll keep me down from going further on my RNG
I know
drops.
How to play the game, Hazel.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know. It's
casual.
I'm not happy about the tokens thing, because now what are we supposed to do with all these tokens? Do we just turn them in before the season's over now, or just cash them in for legendary shards? I mean, I don't understand what to do with these tokens.
You
now.
look at them when you're bored.
Well, yeah, exactly. So I have 2 thoughts on this. So the first thought is, oh my God, they want us to work to level up. They want us to actually play the game. They don't want us to just stand there and just deposit coins and see where it goes and then play that game. They don't want us to do that. And like, to a degree, I think a lot of this has to do with being the world's first for the raid. Because because pretty much what they're doing is they're leveling the playing field. Because I know we're going to talk about it later, but even if you do stock up on bounties and stuff like that, there's no guarantee that it's really going to help you.
Well, bounties never helps you for powering up level anyways. It helps with other things. And that'll be my topic.
Well,
exactly.
The reason I stock bounties up is it gets my artifact level, so I can start unlocking my artifact stuff. And your season pass bar.
Yeah, which will give you artificial power, but because of contest mode, it won't.
It doesn't matter.
That's null.
I've come to the realization I'm not going to be playing against Dado and his guys, so I'll just watch from the stands. I already said that last show, so yeah, I'm rooting for Dado. I hope he gets it this time.
Yeah, my second thought though on this is that I like this. I like that they want us to play the game. Because why not? We fucking paid for it. Like for myself, like I told you guys before, is that, I hit whatever, like 1050. I hit that in like 3 weeks, and then I pretty much quit playing the game because there was nothing else for me to do besides get to 1060. And I'm like, well, why do I care about getting to 1060? It doesn't really mean anything to me.
I have to admit, after getting 1050 from 1050 to 1060, now I'm still not at 1060. By the way, I'm at 1059 and 6/8.
Yeah, but do you even care other than that number just being there?
Because I'm getting power through my artifact. I'm 27 light levels power levels, whatever. I'm an artifact because of how much I played. I mean, it helps that our season so far is 21 weeks long, so not 9 or 12. But, I'll just say this. I don't get... I wanted to ask you first. Are you guys going to do the raid race? The Guardian Hub guys? Kingsley, are you going to do the raid race?
Sin wants to. I know that.
We actually are a little more serious about it this time than before. We're still not going to be like try hard rules and be like in a thing where we're, have certain things like we have to be in, everyone has to be in for 12 hours or whatever. But we are actually we have a group pretty much set together. We are going to start it during the day on Saturday. Everyone's kind of jokes like, yeah, we want to try to actually go for the race. But I'm like, I just want to try and get a day one clear. It'd be my first time to do that. And I don't even imagine I would get that. I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm just trying to be realistic because I just know how things go. But it'd be pretty cool, at least how far we get.
With that being said, I love you, Kingsley. I don't understand why everyone wants to blow through the content, level up as fast as they can, blow through everything, do the raid, and then go, well, now what do I do?
I definitely have. Yeah, it's not that for people. Okay, let me tell you what. Okay. If we didn't have to
get him,
powering up level never is blowing through the content for me, anyways.
Okay.
I play the game. I raid all the time, and I don't care what my level is. The powering, I don't understand why people think that is the main goal in the game. Anyways, I just power up because I have to get to the raids and stuff like that.
Sure,
so I'm not really blowing through anything.
Just to clarify, the contest modifier is what, 1220?
1230.
1230. Okay.
Yeah.
And the soft cap's 1250. Okay.
No, that's the hard cap. The soft cap is 1200.
I'm sorry. That's what I meant. Yeah.
And so because I like raiding, and again, I just want to experience it, and it would be cool to get a day one emblem. Yeah. Again, if I don't, I'm not going to be just super disappointed or anything like that. So if you're talking about blowing through the content, I guess I do have to run more strikes, but then again, it's not like there's only one new strike and one returning. It's not true. Like I would get bored of it maybe 2 weeks before everyone else. I mean, it's really not going to be that big of a difference.
No, I see your point. I'm going to be taking my time. I'm not going to be stressed. I'm going to be looking all around and panning my camera around and seeing how the Bungie artists put everything together. And I'm just going to take it all in, man, and just try to get into the story and try to realize what's going on and even read some lore entries and I bought the content. I'm going to enjoy the content. And I get it now. You're just going to do, maybe monotonous
I'm not stressing
stuff
about it. I'm having fun.
Okay.
Whenever I've powered up quickly in previous seasons, I still play the game a lot, probably more than most people. So that's never, I think the people that say that argument, it's a fair argument, but sometimes I really think they're not wanting to play the game as much anyways. So it really doesn't matter how quickly they play it, but I don't know.
I just don't have the tons of hours to put in like I used to, and it's something I probably am just going to play every night after work, after dinner and stuff. So, I might be considered more of a casual player now.
Well, except for maybe bounties. What's your plan with bounties? Okay, we'll get to that later.
Jesus.
Well, that's the reason why he's going to be more casual, because bounties are dead. Not real yet, but so all right.
I know we're all over the place tonight. Just go for it. Just go for it, man. Yeah. No, this is what I planned on. So go for it.
There's some of these exciting things to talk about.
There is.
Yeah, but I guess in regard to the previous discussion that there's many different things that you can do and many different ways to play the game. So like how Gator said, you want to blow through the content. So it seems to me like Gator's end goal is basically to get to, the hard cap or the pinnacle cap.
Yeah, I'll tell you
for him that would be the peak. Now for Kingsley's peak is basically just getting to a power level where you can do shit.
Okay.
The end game, like the raids, because I love raids.
Right.
Yeah. Sure.
Right.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
And then like somebody like Warcry, he doesn't give a shit what power level he's at because he's going to be in fucking Crucible all the day long. So and there's many different ways to play it. I don't know who's in Strikes day in and day out, but they can play strikes day in and day out now. So, I mean, there's just many different ways to play this game, and there's no wrong way to do it, basically.
Okay.
So,
okay. Well, let's move on. I do want to get through the 12.
World.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
So,
You raised good points. I'll leave it at that.
But he still disagrees. So the economy. So with this, materials with no home. Now with this, basically, I picked up on something here. And basically, there's no changes until season 13. So if you turn in your shit now, or next season, basically, you're going to be able to get more for it next season than basically in season 13. Starting in season 13, you're pretty much going to get maybe, a little bit, but a glimmer or something like that, but that's going to be it. And there's like a whole list of shit that's going away with this. So, and things that are going to, so this is mainly like the, what is it? The shit that you get on each of the planets, like the Seraphite and
materials.
Yeah, the planet mats. Yeah. So with those, with those going away, turn those in next season, season 12, because you don't want to turn them in season 13 because they're not going to be worth anything. So, and basically that was the PSA from Burning Moist Sin's BFF wing. So, yeah. All right. Then, the other thing that kind of like struck me with this was they're getting rid of all of our sentimental stuff. So our ramen tickets, our transcripts, things like that. Like I still have all that shit in my vault, just kind of taking up space. But I can see it going away, but still at the same time, it's just nice to see.
Does anybody know what the Ascendant lens is still going to be used for that we got from the forest?
We still don't
dear
know.
God.
And
I got mine.
And I got a toothbrush. What's
Nice.
my toothbrush supposed to do?
Well, the funny thing is they haven't said that's going away, but why would ramen coupons go away but not the toothbrush?
I don't.
Seems kind of weird to me. So maybe the toothbrush is staying because it wasn't technically on the list, or maybe they forgot to put it on the list.
Okay.
You can get a toothbrush. How you get a toothbrush?
Previous year.
Play the game.
Yeah. Rip.
There's not a toothbrush this year.
Last
I
year.
didn't notice that. I was just like, I think I do have a toothbrush, though.
It was last year's Halloween event.
I did it.
They had it even in D1, didn't they? There was like some, you'd go around
They
the
had
tower
the celery and then
and the raisins and the
peanut
toothbrush.
butter, and the ants on a log. Yeah.
Right.
So, okay. So, what do you guys think of the economy changes? Are you all right with those? What do you think? Shit going away, basically. Whatever.
Well, it's the next part that I'm upset about, but I'm basically going to go to Spider.
Obviously.
And I'm going to go to Spider and turn in all this stuff and get something for it before he gives me some menial amount of glimmer for it the next season. So just go to Spider, turn it all in for what, just wait for the week that he's offering something good with it and then go from there.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I
we'll
couldn't
talk
really
about
care
Spider in a minute.
about
But
those changes that you mentioned.
yeah, exactly. I kind of feel that way for a lot of these changes, actually. Like, I really could care less about most of these.
I actually like the feeling of it going away. It just feels cleaner,
Yeah, it's gonna clean up our vault a little bit.
It's going to shed some dead weight kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, something near and dear to all of our hearts. So, bounties. Bounties. I'm not talking about the paper towels.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Quicker picker-upper.
exactly. Bounty. So, with this, they being Bungie, have reduced the importance on bounties and earning seasonal currency and progress. Can we have a moment for bounties?
All bounties?
Well, yeah, I didn't totally understand that. I feel like
I felt that they were
seasonal
leaving.
bounties?
They were kind of working on bounties a little, but they weren't excluding them totally.
Well, for right now, but starting in season 13, I'm thinking bounties are fucking dead. EED dead.
No, mark my words, they'll never get rid of bounties.
They probably won't be dead.
They'll always have something.
I mean, yeah, something for Gator to chase. But, I mean, but that's the main thing. Yeah, exactly. They're going to name it after him. But, I mean, I'm glad that they're doing away with these. Fuck, come on. Because it's not a way to run a game. It's just not.
Whatever.
I don't have comments on that so much, but there are intricacies of what bounty details are changing. I do have comments on.
Oh, I've got comments coming.
I think you know what we're going to get into.
All right. So, moving on then.
I guess.
Moving on then.
Yeah.
All right. So, season pass. More Bright Dust. 7,500 on the free track. Yay! And then they lowered the weekly bounties from 200 to 100 as well. There's your one step back.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Thank you. Thank you for cutting my...
we get like another 3,000 on the paid track also?
Yeah,
I think.
so 10,500 total.
Yeah.
10,500 total.
Yes.
That'll buy 3 nice things. Really nice. 3,000.
Get yourself something nice, kid.
3,000 is for really cool really cool things.
$10.
It's usually about 3,000, 3,250 or something like that for something really cool.
Oh, fuck, yeah. Kingsley, you brilliant bastard, man! I need to pull up Destiny. You derailed me actually.
No, because I'm gonna say how much of certain things I have.
Well, actually, what I'm doing is I'm logging in right now because I want to see how much 10,000 Bright Dust. Well, I know you can't really buy it, but I want to see kind of like an equivalent for how much silver that is. I want to see like if this is like $10 per season kind of thing.
That's true. I never thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah. But ultimately, I mean, my thought on this, well, okay, one other thing real quick is you can now buy ranks on the season pass bar starting week 5 instead of week 9.
Right.
Big deal.
Yeah.
But still, I still think this is still, I mean, infinite number of steps behind COD, just in how they, I mean, you can buy the next season basically for free if you just play the damn game.
Yep. Mr. 100.
But yes, yes, I think that's a good reason for me to quit playing for right now, just so I can stay at 100. I don't want to go above that. Yeah,
or be like Helios
to the big dogs.
Be like Helios.
The big dogs.
Helios says he's going to 699,000, and then he's 699 rank and quitting.
Yep. But fucking Larman is at
he's blowing
722.
Man. He's blowing it up.
He's blowing it.
He's a player after my own heart.
That's his thing.
I love it, man.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So what do you guys think about the season pass? Any thoughts?
You go first this time, Gator.
Yeah, thanks for cutting our weekly bounties in half. Thank you for that. As far as Bright Dust, because these take a while to do, guys. And I guess they said they were trying to get away from weekly on each character, and they were going to go more to an account base down the road. But it's not there yet. They're not ready for it yet. But I'm glad we're getting more Bright Dust in the season pass. Yes, that's good. But it just depends how much stuff is going to cost at Eververse compared to that. They may raise prices on stuff at Eververse next season, and it just nullifies anything we just talked about. But if assuming everything is correct, like I said, most really, really cool stuff, if you're waiting for something really cool, like that really neat emote, exotic emote, or an exotic ship, or a sparrow, whatever, it's about 3,250 glimmer. 3,250 Bright Dust. And so if you're getting 10,500, not including what you're going to get on these little weekly bounties, it's only 100. I mean, I saw the writing on the wall when we couldn't get Bright Dust from dismantling stuff that we got from Ever. I saw the writing on the wall. They were going to make us buy stuff. And that's all this is they're saying, hey, we're going to give you more glimmer. Yay. And we're taking away the ones from the weeklies.
I mean, Bright Dust, but yeah.
That's what I meant. Bright Dust. I'm seeing red right now.
This whole game is kind of funny, and I don't mean like the game of Destiny, but this game of like how it's going back and forth. I kind of go back and forth too. I mean, I do think it's a positive for the casual players to get this up to 10,000 if you're paying for the season pass, or the lower amount if you're not. Going from 200 to 100, yeah, that cuts that in half, but even 200 was still a pretty small number.
It was terrible.
I wish it was even higher, right?
It was a joke. I mean, how many weeklies would you have to do to get 3,000 Bright Dust? I mean, that's a lot of weeks.
It depends on how you play and what you need, and if you never want to spend any money, because as opposed to like the actual game, but no money in Eververse, because I know people that still do all the weeklies like crazy, and then they buy a lot of stuff with the Bright Dust and they're still out. I don't buy that much. I usually hover around 10 to 15,000 Bright Dust. Actually, right now I'm at 8,000 just because I finally bought something. I bought the Warlock Vampire set, which I love, by the way.
Nice.
It's all brought me down to 8,000, but so to me it's not as important. But at the same time, I wish we could have a mode where we just get everything in the Eververse store, like all you can eat. So like, $10 for the season pass, maybe $20, $25 a season for everything. You know what I mean?
I got an idea.
A smaller amount than buying them all in a cart.
Something just came to mind. Here's what we should do. For every 10 ranks past 100 on your season pass bar, you get a coupon. You bring it to Eververse and you can pick one item. That's what they need to do.
That is a good idea. I mean, you like that because you level that up so much, but I could totally be on board with that idea. I like that idea too.
It's a lot of work. 10 ranks is a lot of work.
But not so much that it wouldn't be worth doing to get one of these things.
If the end game is Destiny wants us to play more and longer, that's exactly what they need to do.
Well, the end game is them making more money.
It's a business. They need to get they need to dip their toe in that pool too. I mean, all these video games out there, especially the free to, man, I heard this, people spending thousands of dollars on this one game. I just flabbergasted, man. This Genshin Impact, people are spending 7,000, 10,000. I mean, people are wrapping so much money up in these games. Then we look at Destiny, and what are we complaining about? They're not that greedy. I don't know.
Well, I mean, fun fact for you guys here. So while you guys were talking about whatever it is you were talking about, I wasn't paying attention because I was doing math. So apparently the 10,000 glimmer fucking gator, the 10,000 Bright Dust that they're giving us, is the equivalent of $20 actually.
Okay, that's not bad.
So it's not
Hazel, you're amazing.
Too bad.
How did you figure that out, man? Because everything's so different.
I just looked at to see like what an equivalent
Bright Dust versus silver.
Exactly, yeah. And there's only like one, sadly, that I can actually like look at. But I just took basically it was 6,000 Bright Dust for the Festival of the Lost Titan armor, and then divided that by the amount for the silver for it.
That's the assumption that the price of everything is linear. Gotcha.
Well,
it's exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So like, for example, though, I mean, like the last year's set or whenever the hell this was, 2 years ago, I'm guessing, it was 4,800 and 1,200 Bright Dust. So that would be a different conversion, but you guys know what I mean.
So it's pretty, okay. So it could be $20. That's good.
Yeah. Up to $20.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
we'll
good.
We'll give Bungie a gold star for that one.
That's not bad. I mean, you're literally paying for your seasons for the year.
Again, almost steps forward, one step back.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly. Because somebody had to do the fucking math for you to figure it out.
Seems to be the way things are going. Okay.
Yeah. Well, just wait because it's going to get worse before.
I can't wait. Let's go.
So
my fists are up, man. I'm ready to fight.
Woohoo! Let's go. Get in the car. All right. So, Spider will be popular. That's the caption of this next part. So, no more legendary shards because nobody fucking bought them. Imagine that.
I bought them.
I had to scroll over that son of a bitch.
I bought them.
No, you didn't.
I did so.
Why? Did you buy by accident?
No.
It has me curious. How many do you have right now?
I could tell you. I've got
What did he buy him, Hazel?
I have 7,116 legendary shards.
Why? Why did you buy them from him?
You know why? Because everything costs legendary shards. Anything you do in this game costs legendary
run out
shards.
with 7,000.
We are.
You weren't. Maybe we'll talk about future, but
okay, whatever.
How many do you have, Kingsley?
I actually have 13,000.
Mm-hmm.
I've had 3,000 since I don't know when. And I don't need any more because you know why? Whenever I drop below 3,000 because I buy shit, I end up getting magically more than that. So I end up getting more than 3,000. And yeah, it's just a weird thing. I never need legendary shards.
When it comes to legendary shards, I hoard it because find out. Go ahead, go on to the next part. We'll find out why.
Yeah. So, okay. No, this is gonna ruffle some feathers, but you know me. So, okay. So basically, they're getting rid of the legendary shards under the spider's bounties and her spider's inventory, but no one cares besides Gator. And next is he will be moving basically in that spot enhancement prisms for a whopping 400 shards for only 3 per week. So,
this is exactly what I did when I read that. When I first read the TWAB, I just laughed. Who is going to spend 400 legendary shards for 1 prism?
Well, I might. But I don't need to right now because I'm maxed. I have 50 prisms and I have 10 golf balls.
Oh, okay.
Maxed out.
You know what? Let's do this. Since you're in Destiny, head over to Mr. Gunsmith. Okay, do that for me real quick, and see what it costs for a legendary whatever prism.
Yeah, I'll look. And isn't it 10 of the prisms go into a shard? I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
but what's it cost now? Let's do a real analysis.
You're not in the tower down there.
Okay.
But,
okay.
But you know, I was doing math while Hazel was talking this time. Hazel, I can buy with my 13,000. Now I'm getting confused.
Legendary
shards. Okay. I can buy 32 prisms.
Congratulations! And so fill us in for a second here. Well, actually, part of me wants to go like and do a time warp, basically back to when Gator was bitching about how much things cost when he was talking about upgrade materials and things like this, going like it's too damn high. Well, it's the same thing. Even in our private Discord, like our chat for this episode, Gator says, he's like, what the fuck is the price with this? What's up with this? And I'm like, this is the same shit that they've been doing, man. Where have you been?
That's why I hang on to my legendary shards. I know this day's coming.
Yeah, so there's that, yes.
I don't know. I don't really ever have problems with any materials. What did we want to see in the tower? How much enhancement prisms cost?
Yeah, if I was to go right now and buy an enhancement prism, what am I going to pay today?
10 cores.
25.
I have 400 cores right now, and 25 Varian bows.
Mats. Yeah.
And then
10,000 glimmer.
So
I'm sorry, how many legendary shards was involved in that?
None.
Exactly.
So what's the problem?
All right.
Thank you.
Well, go on to the next part. How much are enhancements?
These are cheaper, I guess you're saying. Yeah.
The news gets better, Kingsley. How much are enhancement prisms going to be, Hazel? I'm sorry. Enhancement cores.
I know there's too many. They just need to.
Because I only have 110 enhancement cores because I've been upgrading stuff and masterworking stuff for the next season. I'm so glad I did that, by the way.
Only 110.
Yeah, I only have 110. I'm really short.
That you have me beat.
Yeah,
I don't hold on. I just buy them when I need them, and I don't hold on to them really otherwise. But
well, no. I have 110 expansion. I'm sorry, I keep saying expansion. Enhancement cores. No. Jeez. Enhancement cores. You can only hold the golf balls. You can only hold 10 of those. You can only hold 25 of the prisms in your inventory.
Yeah, what's an enhancement core then? You were saying
that?
So go ahead, Hazel.
An enhancement core. So enhancement cores, currently they are 10, 20, 40, I think 80, and then 160. Fuck if I know, because you know why? I only spend 2. Whenever I go to Spider's Ass, I only buy 2 for 30.
I buy 1. 10 legendary shards. And then I go walk away.
Yeah, but congratulations, you and I get fucked in this deal, and everybody who buys it buys 1 or 2 from him, because now they're going to be 30 legendary shards per.
Thanks, Bungie.
Yeah, I guess that does seem high. I guess I got to do the math here. I have 11 because upgrade modules is what we need to upgrade our materials or our armor and weapons, obviously, and then. An upgrade module right now costs, like I said, well, no, I didn't say, but an upgrade module costs only 1 enhancement core. So that's not a big deal.
So I have to read this because they act like they're doing us a favor. They so while it does limit your acquisition rate, it actually will save you 160 legendary shards every 5 cores! ! I'm not going to be an idiot and spend 160 on I want to keep saying
5 cores.
On 5 cores. I'm going to buy 1 at 10, switch my character, come in, or I can't do that because it's account based. The next morning, come back in and buy 10 legendary shards to buy another core. I'm going to do it methodically. Now I got to spend 30? I swear I'm telling you, Bungie wants us to lose all of our Bright Dust, and they want us to lose all of our legendary shards. And by the end of this season, let's see how many you have now, Kingsley.
I'm still not worried about legendary shards, but I guess the question I have is, do we need enhancement, or do you, more specifically, I know what I do, but do you need enhancement cores more for the enhancement prism side of the equation, or do you need it more for the upgrade module side of the equation?
For armor.
So the upgrade module
you
side.
use a lot of them when you're in the mid, I should say upper mid, like past 5 levels on your armor,
right,
and your weapons.
Right.
So,
for upgrading your
not
armor.
weapons,
Gotcha.
armor, not weapons, armor. So yeah, you need them. They're very integral. All 3 of those currencies you have to, even for exotics, you have to have them.
Yeah, but I mean, okay. So just to be brutally honest here, so how many people have masterworked armor? Do you, Kingsley? I think if anyone would, you would.
Okay, I've talked to people about this, and I feel like a pleb when I talk to people like Helios or Mohafa or people that are masterworking tons of armor. But maybe this is why even though I love to raid, I love to do all this stuff, I really am a lover of this stuff, and I'm in it a lot. But I really am still like a casual as far as how I play it, because I just don't stress about it. I only, maybe to answer your question, fully masterwork 2 sets of armor, maybe 3 if we're really looking, but that's why I have so many shards and enhancement prisms. It's just not an issue for me.
Yep.
No,
same here.
No, masterworking is very important, especially if you're playing PvP or you want to build like a high intellect build or a high recovery build. I have most of my armor that's masterwork is averaging 87, because you're adding 12, because you're masterworking, you're adding 12 to your overall your overall number for it's basically an increase across the board.
That's why I don't care, because I don't PvP.
But even for raids, if you can get supers so much faster or recover from damage so much faster, it's important. But trust me, not as important. You can do fine, because I'm proof of this. Like, I don't masterwork that often. I've been doing these raids, and I probably like half of the time than some of the other guys who will masterwork their armor, and I'm surviving perfectly fine, probably more than some other people. So yes, you're right, it would help some, but I really think the rate of return there is less than maybe PvP. Well, I know,
just my opinion. I know people are probably yelling, and if you're going to do the dungeon solo or something, you have to min max. But I am kind of one of these, again, just chill attitude. I only min max a little bit. If I'm really having a problem in one part of the raid, I'll look at it in the next couple of weeks or something. But I've survived perfectly fine without worrying about.
If I was talking to Patty Cakes, he would disagree with you, because I know
I said surviving. I didn't say I was min maxing, but I'm definitely surviving. I'm definitely having fun and playing the game and not dying. For sure.
Okay, I'm not discounting your comment. I'm just saying that in PvP, stats are everything, and especially if you go into trials. I have inspected guys I've been playing against in PvP, and they have over 100 stat armor. It's amazing the stuff some of these people create. But you don't. Okay, it's your opinion, but I think masterworking is important on armor, because it gives you across the board, increases in everything. So
Meh. So that's my opinion. All right.
Okay. We'll be here forever. I'm sorry. Just keep going.
No, actually, we're almost done with the TWAB. So,
Okay. Thank God.
but hey, Bungie giveth and they taketh away.
Yes, that's the theme of this TWAB.
Exactly. So they're taking away all of our enhancement prisms and all of our legendary shards, and they're robbing us blind there and our bright dust according to Gator, and they're giving us instant summon on all of our sparrows. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm not like jumping up and down, but I do think it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's the way it should have been in the fucking beginning.
Yeah, it probably
anyway.
should have. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, we don't have to worry about switching we can actually switch our ghosts now because everyone would just want to hold on to the ghost that could do instant or whatever,
Right.
and so that was, this is a good thing.
Or the sparrow that had the one perk on it. So, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, that's everything there. And then there's one last thing that I have to throw out here, and that is on November 9th, 14 hours of maintenance. Whew. Yeah, that's an epic slog there. So, and that's going to be starting at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Use your time accordingly there, and through 6 a.m. Eastern time. So,
yeah, it's a long time. One thing I did want to mention is, and this was important to me, especially me and a lot of the guys who reset their season pass several times over, or I guess every 5 levels you get one of the engrams, the Eververse engrams, bright engrams I guess they're called. They now have changed it where you can get everything through 2 seasons before, instead of limiting to a certain narrow area.
3 seasons,
right? So next season you'll be able to get content from Eververse, and it has a knockoff list, so it'll give you a better chance of getting stuff you don't have. Seasons 1 through 9. So if there's something you didn't get, it could be exotic or anything, exotic sparrow, ship, shader, whatever. It's you have now 1 through 9 seasons, and then next season it'll be 1 through 10 seasons. You catch my drift here? So I like that. I mean, if they're not going to give me a coupon to bring to Eververse,
not at all.
Then at least we're going to have more breadth and depth of stuff that we can get from our bright engrams. So I wanted to mention that.
Yeah. I want to get the there's like a dog one that I haven't gotten yet.
There's a lot. There's a lot I haven't gotten. I keep getting the same old ghost and crap that I already have, and I'm like, come on, man. I know there's stuff I don't have. So, anything else, Hazel?
That is everything with the TWAB and the Twitch, as well as the everything else basically.
All right.
So,
well,
I think next is just open discussion about everything.
You know what? I need to take a break. I need to go take an aspirin. I'm getting a really bad migraine right now from all this talk. You know what? Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back right after this. Okay, this is really why I wanted to do this podcast tonight, is because we have general questions that have been mulling around in all our heads here, and I just wanted to. This was literally going to be like a round table. We're just going to go around the horn and discuss a few things about Destiny coming up that we haven't been able to fit in past shows, and maybe new stuff has popped up. So, Kingsley, why don't I start with you, man? What's your first question you want to talk about?
I want to talk about if y'all feel like it's worth saving bounties, and then also kind of talk about the best way to do it. I mean, I like to jab. I'm like, why save all these bounties? But I did do some research, some homework, but I'm curious. I know you know a lot about it, Gator, so I'll let you give your opinion and see what tips you have, and then you probably cover them all, and then I can fit in anything if you missed anything.
As far as bounties, what I'm going to do is anything that has to do with the planets or anything that's going away. They've already mentioned it's going to disappear. I got rid of them. I cashed them in. So the only bounties that I'm holding are planetary bounties, the wanted bounties from Spider that occur on the planets that are remaining. In other words, Nessus, basically Nessus and EDZ. And I've got some weekly Vanguard bounties, some weekly stuff because I get bright dust for it. And like I mentioned last week, I'm not gonna as far as my weekly powerful rewards, they've already mentioned that if you turn in any bounties that go toward that weekly amount, like let's just say Vanguard bounties, for instance, that it's going to be at the highest level from last season. So what I'm doing is I'm going to hang on to those bounties. I'm going to get my, whatever the weekly is now. I think it's 8 completed bounties, whether it's weekly or dailies on the Vanguard. I'm going to turn them in, get my powerful gear, and then I'm going to start slamming all my other bounties because I've already finished it for that week.
And slam them hard.
That's what I'm going to do. That's my
What
strategy.
Are you going to, because there's also another potential issue with the Crucible and Gambit bounties. If you have any held over from the previous season, when you turn even just one in, and then when you finally get a rank up for Valor or Infamy, it'll drop at a lower level for that, at least first rank. Do you have concern about that?
I'm not holding any Gambit bounties at all because they're changing the Gambit game, remember? So I'm not holding any Gambit bounties. I am trying to get my Infamy reset one more time before the next season. I'm getting close. I think I'm at Fabled Plus. And that's just from turning in the daily Civic bounties, not playing Gambit. So no bounties from Gambit at all. As far as Crucible, I'm not saving. I don't think I'm going to save any of the Crucible bounties because of what you said. As far as Valor, you reset your Valor rank. It's going to, because you used something from the previous season. I agree. I'm not going to mess with that. The only thing I'm going to hold from this season is going to be the Vanguard stuff. I think I'm going to stick with all the planetary bounties. I'm going to max those out. When they rotate, I'm going to make sure I got all the rotating bounties.
The moon
there.
stuff is safe too.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. Thank you. I'm probably going to save those too. I'm probably going to work on that soon. I got another week, so I'll be stacking all that stuff up. But other than that, I'm not going to really be hoarding a ton. I'm going to hoard as many as I can of those types of bounties. Gambit, absolutely not, and probably not Crucible because what you just said, because it is based on levels, Valor and Infamy and Gambit respectively. Anything that powers up some, or ranks of something, I'm not going to hold on to. I think you're smart there. I think it probably will impact since you've done your homework. What is your opinion?
Well, as usual, I'm probably not going to save much. I don't know. Like, the only real benefit I see is because, again, the contest mode thing, the artifact won't matter much. I guess it will the week after, but by then we're all going to be leveled up more anyways. And then the only other benefit you could maybe see is like maybe getting some seasonal thing you really want in the season pass a little bit earlier than everyone else. But I'll tell you, for not saving up bounties last season, I still got it quick enough to my Fallen Guillotine. I was only like a week or so behind everyone else. So.
Just to let you know, this season of Arrivals, I was at rank 10. By the time I turned all my bounties in, I was already rank 10 on the season pass, just from hoarded bounties alone, not doing anything
really
else.
Benefit you that much other than being a cool number?
This time around, no,
yeah.
It didn't. But let's think about it.
Clip it, Sin.
The spin, no.
Concerned about bounties.
The spin to win sword. That was at what level?
60 or something?
No, much earlier, like 25.
20. Okay.
And of course the Cold Denial was 40. So you want to unlock those new weapons, you want to definitely do that. But my point is, you were mentioning about the artifact power levels. I'm not really doing it for that. I'm doing it to get the unlocks, to get those special perks and mods that I can throw into my armor and guns as early as I can. That's my strategy with bounties, is not so much the power level, because of what you said, they're going to cap it anyway because of contest modifier, which will revert, by the way, after that week. It'll revert back to normal.
After that week, yeah.
So, yeah, I just want to mention that.
No, it's fair. I'm probably going to save a few this time, as opposed to last time I didn't save any. But I think I'm just kind of, again, taking this middle of the road approach. But I assume, Hazel, you're going to be saving all of them, right? Did you figure out all that calculus that Gator said of how to do it right?
Sorry, I fucking dozed off when you guys started talking about bounties.
Of course you did.
Guess that answers that.
No, I don't have. I'm actually holding on to 4 bounties at the moment right now.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're Queen's bounties that I still haven't completed. So yeah.
Okay.
And yeah. So no, I'm not holding on to shit. I'm going in naked.
Keep in mind. Yes, I did not get those weapons because I didn't get high enough. But I remember I was talking to a lot of my friends, and they go, "You're already on level 15 on your season pass, and you're getting glimmer. You're getting buffs like experience buffs. You're getting armor. You're getting materials, raw materials. So yeah, I'm telling you, do it. They're gonna stay there. Now next season I can't promise you anything, but this season do exactly what I said. And I'm sure Fallout had a video.
You just got to experience the game. Take it slow.
But anyway, what I was gonna say though is that it's absolute bullshit that they locked the sword and the cold denial behind the season pass bar. It's absolute bullshit.
Is what it is.
I kind of agree. I didn't really. Did they do that at a previous season too, or was
no? This was the first season,
one,
and it won't be the last. By the way,
it better be the fucking last.
It won't be. They'll lock weapons.
That is a fucking. That's basically pay to win, isn't it?
Or save bounties to win.
So much because you can't pay at first to level those up, but
starting week 5,
it's play to win, which is kind of the case anyways. It seems more like a prison, more like a gate, as opposed to like just getting it through RNG. Like you could maybe get quicker another way. The funny thing is if some people, if they play a certain way, the bounty unlock could potentially be better. But I get what you're saying. It is kind of like an evil, like, oh, I can't get it until I get to this level.
Yeah, well, I mean, even then it held you up on the like what you could do for the compactor or whatever it was. You know, like it held you up there. Like you couldn't like unlock that one until you got to that point in the actual pass bar.
Oh yeah, the seasonal thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just like, I don't know, it was just, to me, it was just a terrible design because it's like you had to get to level 40 so you could unlock the cold denial, so that way you could go ahead and continue on with the unlocking of the, whatever that fucking thing was next to the drifter.
Yeah. Ramshackle something.
Yeah. I feel like they weren't doing this maliciously as much as like they just needed to find more stuff to put it in there to make it seem worth it. And that's kind of sad because I wish as it is, they could put more stuff in to make it worth it. We've had this discussion in previous ones too, where like over 100, I wish there could be more things we could earn that are, ooh, shiny, we get this. And even if it's Gator's idea of every 10, we get a slot at the store or something.
Coupon.
But, yeah. But it's like they're like, oh, we got
a new emblem.
Yeah, why not?
But they probably don't have the time for making too many cool things in the season pass bar.
Give me the coops. Show me the coops.
Yeah, I mean it's only a money cow, like a cash cow for them. So
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right. Well, any other further discussion on that? I know we have a lot of questions. I want to make sure we give ample time to everybody. So
let's hear them.
All right, Hazel, you're next. What do you got?
All right. So, okay. You know me. I'm special. So, can you explain something to me?
Mm-hmm.
How come that most of the cool shit that's coming out is coming out in season 13 and not season 12?
I think they ran out of time. I think COVID
ran out of time, motherfucker. They extended out like how many weeks?
They delayed the game.
What are they doing?
I'm going to tell you why they delayed the game, but it's part of my question, so I don't want to mention it now. But
oh, geez, did Luke Smith tell you?
No, it's not a dream. Sorry, it's not a dream. No. I actually got to quote I got to quote somebody for this because I got the information from them. But I think you're now when you say cool shit, what are you referring to? I want to know some
examples of what you mean.
So, okay. So for one, I mean like the bounties. that getting moved, Transmog getting moved to basically season 13 beyond even. I mean, there was one other thing too that like is going to be season 13 as well, and it's like okay, I mean, so what are we getting in season 12? It's like, I don't know. I just find it very. I've got an answer almost.
I've got an answer, but like I said, I'm going to refer to my question later.
And to me, the to say that they ran out of time is definitely not an answer, because it's like, then what the fuck are they doing with this moment right now?
Well, I mean, they're not using their studio right now, Hazel. I mean, they can't do a lot of stuff. I'm sure it's a lot slower to do a lot of things. I mean, I heard the playtest crew was using Stadia servers to do playtesting. I mean, they don't have the infrastructure right now. So I think everyone's feeling this. I mean, I'll give Bungie a little bit of leeway on this one.
I think it's more nuanced. I get what you're saying, Hazel, but I think these things were never meant to be in season 12. They told us quite a while ago that Transmog was coming sometime next year, I thought. So I think these were things that were just always planned to be later, and they're almost like getting us too excited ahead of time, telling us things that maybe we didn't need to know yet, and then we're like, we want it now.
Yeah, well, okay, the other side of that then would be, I mean, what's the other thing? Oh, no, like, vendor refreshes until season 13.
Oh, I'm on board with you on that, man. I don't understand why.
I mean,
and it's 3 years now we haven't had vendor refreshes?
Yeah.
I get it. I really do think, though, I mean, my opinion was they knew a long time ago the season was going to get extended, even before they told us, like at least 2 to 3 months, maybe even 4 or 5. But they didn't want to tell us until what? They told us in the summer or something.
They're leading us along, I'm sure.
Yeah, and along with that, that was just for the base DLC that's getting extended. They already knew that a lot of these things that they wanted to add were going to get pushed to season 13. So it's kind of a 2-part thing. It's, the DLC is getting extended, which was sad, and then these quality of life things they can't all bring out. I do think it's pretty cool, though. Again, like, we could have some pretty cool seasons coming up, 13, 14, with these things we know we're getting, and also hopefully my prediction's right of more Cosmodromes opening up and all that stuff.
Yeah, I've got
that would be cool.
Yeah. I'm
so yeah, that was my 2 questions right there. Basically, I'm
like chomping at the bit here. I have been thinking about this all week, and you guys got to bear with me on this, okay? And I have to give credit where credit's due here. I heard this on a YouTube video from the Yeetcast. I don't know if you guys know these guys, but one of their members of the Yeetcast, and I'm sorry I don't remember your name if you do listen to us, they talked about the engine. Hold your breath. Take a breath.
Oh, Jesus.
Take a breath, Hazel. Just bear with me here, okay? Follow along.
Yes, what did they say?
Well, I asked last week, and I'll pose this question to you guys too, but I'm going to ask it after I demonstrate this point, because I listened to this 3 times from them, and the gentleman who was talking about the way they're redoing their engine, and I say that loosely.
Try not to laugh here.
I did. Gator did some old research on how video games are put together. And I know you're a very tech-oriented guy, Kingsley, so you can check me on this. All right, there's 3 parts to a video game, right? You have the coding.
The floppy drive.
No, you have the code. That's that's basically the engine. I mean, that's basically what's driving everything in the game, right? Then you have a second thing called scripts. This is little things that interact with the code that cause a trigger, and then that thus causes something to happen in the game. And what forces and what moves the scripts? Us, the player. The input. So there's 3 parts of a video game: the coding, the scripts, and the input. That's us. Think of this as a car. Okay.
And don't forget the graphics API.
Well, okay. I'm keep in mind I'm simplifying this. Okay, I'm simplifying this quite a bit. I know there's other things involved, but bear with me here. Just stay with me. Think of a video game as a car. Okay. You have your engine in the car that drives the car. It moves the car. And you then have, that's the engine, right? So that would be considered what coding is in a video game. It's what's driving the game. It's what makes the game move. Okay? Makes the game happen. Your scripts are going to be your sensors in your car, your oxygen sensor, your throttle positioning sensor, your map sensors, your computer module in your fuel injection in your car, all tells the engine. It basically goes in and now analyzes things that are going on in the engine and then tells the engine what to do based on what? The brake and the gas pedal of the car, which is us. That's what we're doing. We're pressing the gas to go, or we're stomping on the brake to stop. And then, of course, steering and stuff like that, too, which that can go into sensors and stuff, too. Bear with me. The fact that they have changed not the engine, but how the engine processes information. They have gone from a quest-based host to a physics-based host. This is going to be the biggest change of Destiny going into the future here. This is the biggest thing that we should all be so excited about. And I think until we jump into this expansion, we're not going to feel the effects of this. I want to play a game with you guys, okay? To illustrate this point.
Do we get to drive a car?
No car involved. This is quest-based host versus physics-based host, okay? Let's say you want to order a TV from Amazon, okay? I want you to order a TV from Amazon, and I'm Amazon, by the way, without saying TV or television. Go.
Visual device that plays movies.
Okay, a visual device. Are you talking about eyewear?
No, you're supposed to know what I mean. It's obvious.
No.
Right, Hazel?
Do you mean a
eyewear? No.
Okay.
What's
Do you mean a picture frame? Talking about some kind of screen or some kind of device?
Depends then on what your definition of a picture frame is.
Okay. Are you talking about an insect screening, like screening to keep an insect out? Do you see my point? We're having to go back and forth here. The quest-based host in Destiny. Basically, this is the loop that the code and the scripts have to go through. There has to be a workaround, is what I'm trying to get at. For Destiny to make things happen in a game, they have to work around by doing things like this. They have to do a lot of back and forth, a lot of extra processing, a lot of extra time. So I think what they're doing, going to this physics-based host, is now you're going to be able to go to Amazon and go, I'd like a TV, please. Boom. Click, delivered to your house. This is what is going to happen with this physics-based host, is now Bungie is going to be able to what? First, you're not going to have as much loading. Like they've already told you that you can instantly join people in the tower, right? What happened when you did it in the last? You had to go back out to orbit. The game had to talk and talk and talk, and then finally put you in their group, and then bring you back down to the tower to join them, right? What happens when you're in a tower and you need to go to the other side of the tower, over to where the dredging master is over there? You have to, when you do that, what happens? You load in, your screen goes blank. It's thinking, and then you appear at the other side of the map. What if you could instantly go when you're going to points on a map? You can almost near instantly go to these areas because of the new coding, the new way that the coding in the game is done, the new way that the scripts can actually go and find out what's going on based on physics in the game, and get back and whatever the trigger is or whatever our input is. Think of hit detection. Think of hit registration when you're trying to punch something as a Titan. Sometimes there's a lag there. Sometimes it's not as quick, or something happens. You're like, oh, you're playing Crucible, and you're like, oh, all right, that's bullshit. There's no way that guy did that. Well, that's netcode, and that's a bunch of other things too. And networking is part of it. I get it. But what if this new physics-based host is Bungie's long-term way of stretching this game out in maybe the next 10 years and communicating better and think about it. If Bungie can ask for that TV right off the bat without having to say, okay, give me a projector screen that I like to watch stuff on, and the coding comes back, do you mean this? And it has to go loop, and it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of processing power. What's the one thing when we have to re-download this whole game? What's the one thing they said? it's going to be like 30% less. That's because they don't have to do all this looping. That's because, and we're getting a lot of content too.
And they got rid of fucking 6 planets.
Yes, but keep in mind, we're adding stuff too. So what if this is going to be a more efficient way that this engine is going to process things? Yes, it's not the slipstream engine like I imagined. I was throwing a dart and it missed. But the Tiger-based engine that they use, and I'm no video game expert. I was just I did a lot of research on it online, and I was listening to Yeetcast. They talked about this. I really agree with these guys. I think this is going to be the single biggest thing to happen. Because you mentioned being able to add stuff down the road in seasons and stuff. What if Bungie can do that almost instantly now? What if instead of taking 2 months to change a sandbox or 3 months, now they can change it within a week?
They already said they were going to do that with the new engine, or not the new engine, but like how they have it set up. I mean, they've already said that.
That's exactly my point.
They've already said everything that you've already said.
I think what you're missing though is the fact that people who are manipulating the game, hackers and cheaters and aimbots and whatever else out there, that Bungie now can almost immediately find out something is wrong there and grab these players and throw them out. Make their game reset, kick them to orbit, whatever. I think this is bigger. I think this is a lot bigger than most people think. That was my point.
Yeah, no. Yeah, a lot of different things there. All those things you were saying, I actually already kind of knew, and I agree. This is a big change. And this physics scripting host, it actually can even be technically called the scripting engine, but it's not like the main part of the engine.
It's just a label, right?
Yeah, it's just a label. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, I think they said they could change things on the fly of what's already in the game, but I'm not convinced this is going to let them program faster, though. They would have to change the main engine more. We'll see.
Yeah. But this is, I mean, not to interrupt, but Hazel had the question, why is everything in season 13? I think because this new way of processing stuff in the game, I think they're going a little light this season just to make sure everything's doing what it's supposed to do. And in season 13, they're going to start throwing in stuff a lot faster. That's my opinion.
I could kind of get on board with that theory, that specific theory right there. But yeah. I don't know if you actually had a question with all those comments. But
I guess what is? Do you agree with me? Do you think that? Do you think I'm on track, or you think I'm just throwing crap at the wall again?
No. I think because, like Hazel said, we did already kind of know a lot of this, especially if you read the AMA posts and stuff, and there's a lot of speculation of what exactly we'll see. But I agree, like what you were saying, what they were saying, what other people are saying. We'll at least see some of this as far as maybe stopping the cheaters quicker, or maybe public events can be more live, or they can. Well, they already kind of told us that, right? They will be the same instance. You won't see like another one if you try to beam.
And how about the AI in the game being much smarter? What about stealth missions that they can throw in at any time?
Well, no. See, I don't. Well, what do you mean? It's already going to have to be in the code. They would just activate it like they've already been able to do, like when Whisper came up.
Like the Whisper, yeah, exactly. So.
But I'm not convinced they can program faster. That's just my opinion. But I do agree with most of the things you're saying.
All right. Well, maybe I'm just off base, but
that was a revelation. And it's a good opinion. Yeah.
When I listened to that TWAB and they talked about how no two instances would be the same and how the enemies would react to you differently than they do now. I mean, because face it, if you play a strike right now, people could just run around the enemies unless they're physically blocked by it, something like the Infinite Forest. People just jump past. Yeah.
That whole point, if the game's going to be a lot harder, I'm almost not excited for that, which it sounds like it may be. If the game's
I don't think it'll be harder. I just think it'll be different. How we play the game will be different. I don't think people realize how different the game is going to act, and watch it come out and just be the same. I don't know. I listen.
It can't. There's 0% chance of that, but I don't know if it'll be like a level 10 of all our predictions, but probably somewhere in between.
Something looked different in one of their trailers about a month ago. Something just looked crisper. Something looked different. It just, the way the enemies were acting, something looked different to me. And I play a lot of Destiny, and I see a lot of stuff over and over again. And, what did
they were all in slow-mo in these trailers. It was getting a little annoying.
Yeah, well, yeah, and maybe that's the basis of Yankee, Dank, Oopsie, Doopsie. I don't know. Sorry, I had to bring that around.
How about those new harpies that have legs?
Yes,
those are freaking weird.
That's awesome, man. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I've got a thought.
Okay,
real quick here. So about the harpies with the legs, I've got a fear. I'm afraid that's from the raid.
Oh, you think it's only in the raid?
I think.
All right. Well,
I hope not.
I hope not.
I hope they
too.
don't spoil anything with the raid, but that's just a fear that I have. I mean, it might just be the strike, but
or they might be
know.
all around, like strike, raid. Not like all around, but in certain areas.
Here's hoping. But if the season is as light as we seem to think that it's going to be, it could be. Would suck. That big ass robot that's out there, that just seems weird. I mean, I'm like, that usually is like a raid boss.
the big mech. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, well, shit, it was a raid boss in the Scourge.
I don't have a feeling that's in the raid. I think something bigger's in the raid. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess.
I hope.
Yeah, I don't think that mech is in the raid. I think that's just on patrol or public event or strike.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be amazing.
All right. I only had one other question. Was there any other questions before we move on?
Oh, you have the floor.
Here it is.
Is it actually a question, though?
It is.
Or
No, it is a question. It's not a revelation. It's a question. What do you guys think's going to happen the last week? They have not said anything. We had this major event, public event, that happened at the tower at the end of last season. Do you think we're just going to fizzle out and just move into the next season, or do you think something's going to happen?
Trying almost to not get my hopes up in case nothing does happen. I do think something's going to happen. I think if you look at the over-under, I think it's greater than 50% chance something will happen. But I don't know. I don't think about it too often. Hopefully something cool.
Cautiously optimistic, I see.
Cautiously, I don't think they're going to blow up the planets. A lot of people said that because then it wouldn't make sense if they ever do try to bring them back down the road.
I mean, we got to have some kind of closure to this season, right?
Quarantine or closure, yeah.
What do you think, Hazel?
I think quarantine would be like the lamest of lame things for them to do.
I'm on
we're just gonna put a big caution sign over these and go sorry, you can't go there. They're under construction.
Are quarantined right now, supposedly.
I'm on the quarantine boat. I don't think anything's going to get blown up. I think the darkness is just going to take those planets over and overrun them, where we just can't even get near them. There'll be some animation to show us that, I'm sure.
We need to have those planets blown up. We need to.
I mean, I'd be
they
down.
They just need to be destroyed.
Oh, okay.
I mean, so that way we can have peace of mind and we can go oh shit, they're for real.
Okay.
Instead of just going hey, we got caution tape over them.
I don't want them to blow up Mars because if they could bring back the old Mars.
That was my point.
Cool.
That was my point. What's going to happen when all of a sudden Mars appears again, Hazel? Are they going to say, we were just kidding. It didn't really blow up.
Well, I mean, here's my thought about that actually is that, like I said before, I think that they're going to kind of do some, what did you say? Yankee Dank?
Yankee Dank Oopsie Doopsie. Yankee Dank Oopsie Doopsie.
Yeah. So they're going to pull a Yankee Dank Oopsie Doopsie on us and they're going to blow up the planets, but then they're going to bring them back with Osiris and the
time travel. Okay. I've heard that theory.
I think that's what they would do in order to bring back those. So that way we could go ahead and go back to those planets in different areas and whatnot from there.
And that's quite a Yankee Dank.
Okay. I'm going to end with this because, we all sit here and mock. And I tell you what, I've watched a lot of Destiny podcasts this week, and I've had so many people ragging on this game. And I just got to remind everybody, there's nothing like Destiny out there, guys. If you look at all the shooters out there, all of them feel like they're 5 or 10 years behind the mechanics that Bungie has been using now for 6 years. Look at Halo. Look at the Halo reveal. What was the one thing everyone zeroed in on? It was the weapons and armors didn't look worn out. They didn't look like they'd been through battle, right? Didn't you notice that? It looked like a game from the 2000s.
I don't really care about Halo, so I didn't look into it.
Well, it was just an example, but
I get your point. Yeah,
but Destiny has this uncanny ability of making things look like they've been worn and they've been abused, and they have scratches and worn marks and polishes and blemishes. The artwork, and everything about Destiny, it gives you that feeling that even though it's a sci-fi shooter, you feel like, you know what, this could actually be happening. This could be believable. We could be going to the Cosmodrome and seeing where humanity tried to flee and all these ships were left dormant from death, from all the fallen that attacked and everything that happened. I don't know. You compare that with Call of Duty or Doom or even Halo. None of these games compare. I'm sorry, they don't. COD hasn't changed the way things look in over 15 years. It's still the same maps, the same types of characters. Tell me, okay, they added Warzone. They added a Warzone.
Come on now.
They added Warzone.
The characters are way different.
They may be more detailed, but as far as the gun mechanics, everything about the game, it's the same engine. Everything is the same as it was back in COD 4.
I don't know about that. But
slick graphics.
Well, I agree with the sentiment. Destiny, I love the game. It's just so hard when it tries to do so many things too. And for me, I've always been caught enough by the PvE side, but you hear about the PvP, and this could be a whole discussion for a different podcast.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Always sandbox. And I don't think they would ever be satisfied with a certain sandbox. And then that's a legit and or convenient excuse to not play the game anymore. I guess you could say maybe some other games have a better sandbox, but then they probably wouldn't have as good of a gunplay or visual maps, like you're saying,
Right. It just, I go into Call of Duty and I'm like, rank up guns, rank up your prestige. Yes, they have a season pass bar now. They finally came up with reality and whatever all the other shooters are doing right now. I just get bored really fast in Call of Duty because I've played it for so many years. They had their
pass before Destiny did, right? If you're going to talk shit, you're going to have to, eat some of it as well there.
To
be brutally honest.
I fully agree. Destiny is still a fairly young game if you compare it to Call of Duty. Call of Duty's been out a lot longer. But I don't know, man. I know they still sell tons and tons of games every year, but it just doesn't seem like I thought about jumping back into the new Modern Warfare that's out now. I got the game. I haven't played a ton of it, but then I'm thinking, wait a minute. This isn't a continually evolving world. There's going to be another retail game out in what, a few weeks? Why should I even go back and play this game? You ever try to go back and play COD 4? You're going to be on a Russian server playing people from Europe, and I've done it. I've gone back and played it, and everyone's got the hacks and cheats, and it just, I don't know.
It doesn't have Telesto.
It does not have Telesto. Good point, Kingsley.
Thank God. That's the reason why I'm there.
But what I'm saying is COD really has not changed much. If you go for all the way back to, what was it, 2010?
It hasn't really changed. You're right. Completely.
It's not an evolving world. You just basically buy a new game every season. So you're in a rush to play all year so you can max out your season pass or prestige. It used to be prestige for me when I played. It was you reset everything back to 0 and play the game. You just re-rank the guns over again. Now that part I do wish sometimes that Destiny would grab onto. The gun, as you use the gun more, you get attachments and stuff, but that's another podcast. I just wanted to end on that note. Everybody shits on Destiny and on Bungie, and you have to realize they have something that really no one has been able to match yet. Think about it. How many times has a game come out? Oh, that's a Destiny killer. That's a Destiny killer. What happens to those games? You play them for 3 or 4 hours. Nope, not Destiny. Logging back into Destiny. I'm talking shooters. Apples to apples here. I'm not talking about, these novelty games that have been out. Those are fun to play. I get that. But shooter to shooter, does anything match the mechanics? Does anything match the graphics?
I guess you're...
No. You mean there was Anthem, Avengers, there's been,
Yeah. And
a lot.
30 and
That's
Still
right.
Gaming's a big Avengers fan. I'm sure he's going to say something. I'm sure I'll get a comment later, but yeah, I love you, man, but I'm sorry. I looked at the game. I watched people play it. It's fun. They tried to do a lot of things that Destiny's tried to do that, that was already done. There's really nothing original there other than playing superheroes. Oh, I'm going to get so much shit for that.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, is I heard like they had 66 people watching a Twitch stream, and that's the highest.
Yeah.
For Avengers.
I like I said,
That hurts.
Not Destiny. So
I mean, Destiny's, still not much higher, especially right now.
No.
That's
because it's a continually evolving world. You're going to have
well,
lulls.
no, I mean right now, just because
we're in a lull.
Extended it out.
Yeah, we're in a lull. People are fatigued with this season. Believe me, I get that. I haven't logged on as much as you normally do. Just like, no, you know what I do? You guys play other games. You know what I do when we get lulls in seasons? I just watch more TV. There's stuff I get to catch up on. A lot of shows I haven't watched. So, all right, we can go on forever on this topic. I just wanted to end on that point. We've asked our questions. Now I think it's time for our community to ask theirs. So we'll do that right after this. All right, boys and girls, it's that time of the week. This is where we get our questions from our community. And man, they step up every frickin' week. I'm blown away by all the questions that our community has been sending us. And let's start with our first speak pipe of the night. And it is from our beloved Uncle Scumdeath.
Hey, Scumdeath here. Will Beyond Light cost me any money? Because I'm not giving Bungie any money for quite a while. I've dropped off the game. But do you think it will have enough vigor to bring me back without spending any money? Cheers. Love you.
Thanks for that, Uncle Scumdeath. Well, we were just about to talk about what are something, can people that don't want to spend any money, can they jump in and play this next season? What's the answer, guys?
No.
I mean, yeah, of course you can, but
I meant next season, not this season. I meant
next season. Yeah,
Beyond Light.
Right, of course.
I worry that it won't be the best experience. It almost could be a detriment rather than. Hear me out, because if you're just doing the free-to-play stuff, you may think the game is lame and then not want to buy it. I'm not convinced that the free-to-play, unless you've never played Destiny before, then I think it's going to get you hooked. But if you're just kind of coming back from a long break and then you jump in, you're like, oh, there's this one new strike and yeah, I can see some patrols and that's about it. So my push is just buy it, somehow save up the $40, give it a chance. That's just my opinion.
Well, I mean, I wanted to bring this to your point too, Kingsley. Mr. Elmer Fudd got on last night. He re-downloaded the game and said, okay, boys, what do I need to do here? And I think you jumped in and started helping him. I passed out. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, Mr. Fudd. I passed out. I tried to stay up, buddy, but I had a long day. I passed out. So, but Kingsley came through like a true friend. And what did you find out last night as Elmer was trying to play?
Yeah. Well, it was eye-opening for me, too, because I had forgotten how little you could do on the free mode. And it makes sense, especially this far in. The DLC was a long time ago. So if you want the seasonal stuff, you're not going to get that unless you bought the deluxe pack or you buy these $10 seasons. And so all we could really do was the evacuation quest because, that's a free quest. We couldn't do the interference because I'm like, oh, yeah, let's do the interference because that one's pretty cool, especially with the Nokris fight and everything.
Yeah.
Couldn't do that. Couldn't do some of the things. I worry like coming in again that late in the game and not really having much to do is a bad experience. I don't know how he felt about it overall, but that's what my worry is.
If you weren't there to lead the way, do you think he would have been able to figure anything out?
He was doing a good job figuring things out. I think he figured out that the evacuation quest was the only thing he could do other than, strikes or Crucible or Gambit.
Yeah.
If that's what you mean, Asire, is like how to figure out the quest.
Yeah, or because that was his question. All right, I downloaded the game. I'm back in. What do I do? And that's the first thing I mentioned was get the exotic sidearm and do the evacuation quest because it gives you weapons throughout all the planets that you clear. It's giving you weapons that are hard to get. Were hard to get. Now they're given to you. Do you agree?
But you can't use them for next season, though.
They are sunset, true, but you can use them in Crucible or non. You can use them in the first parts of the if you don't have anything else.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to use.
They drop it at 1050, I think. So,
well, and also to be super technical, the weapon that we get for the evacuation quest, it's fine, but admit it, it's no meta. No one's like running it everywhere. You know,
it has a nice perk, but yeah, I'm not going to run around when the content drops with a sidearm. Sorry.
Yeah. The other thing that was interesting is, no matter if you're a new player or not, if you're jumping in and don't mind getting, this is hard to say, but like if you don't mind getting kind of like spoiled in some of the quest steps, I highly recommend opening up Bray Tech. You can see how long some of these quests are, because some people might get burnt out saying, oh, this evacuation quest, I'm just going to planet, doing the strikes that are leaving, doing this and that. Oh, I'm only like third of the percent done. To me, and everyone's personality is different, but to me, seeing how long the quest is, it actually helps me appreciate it more. And I know if I want to push through it quickly or save more for a different day.
Yeah,
that's a great point.
Braytech's great for that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Hopefully we answered this question well, but it's not like you shouldn't hop in. Definitely check out. Definitely, you may get excited. Definitely check out the new strike. You will be able to see Europa. That's way cool, actually.
Well, yeah. We just went over the calendar, all the free things they were given to free to. That's why I asked you. I said, this is absolutely free. Yeah. People can jump in and play that free.
Yeah, for sure. But exactly. I just don't think, if he's saying, will he be impressed with all the free stuff? I don't know that I can quite say in the long run you will, but definitely check it out, and hopefully you will, and then you'll want to get the expansion.
Yeah, and they also mentioned that they redid the UI as far as new players. It gave them more like a little buddy to accompany them and show them how to do stuff. And
we don't even know yet what the new light quest will be. It could. That was another thing
I'm going to play it.
About as far as
I'm going to pop up one of my 100 of accounts, and I'm going to get a new player and jump in there and
hopefully
do it.
The Vidoc. Yeah.
Hopefully it's a few stories missions, not just one little short one.
Yeah.
But they did show Shahan. There you go. Shahan. Wow. But yeah, they did show him and confirmed it's not who he thought it was. But
true.
That other person is prevalent. We could say that.
Just think Fast and Furious if you're trying to figure his name out.
I was.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My thought though, with the free thing, real quick though, is that I would feel like I was missing out on something watching people like run around and using these stasis abilities and things like this, and it would like almost make me want to like buy it just because I want to do cool shit like that.
Yeah,
that's a good point. The super is going to be a big draw, and that's kind of a thing we haven't had for a while, so that could be a wild card in the mix,
especially for somebody like him who hasn't played yet, who hasn't played lately.
I would tell him, start a new character, do the new light, go in with the new light, Uncle Scumdeath, and run through the new quest line that they're going to have for new light players, and go from there. And then join us, man. Join us. We'll be glad to help you out, dude. We got a ton of people on PS4 that are just love to play. So I know that's the platform you're on. So yeah, good question. Hazel, why don't we pick one out of our myriad of podcast questions in our Discord next?
Yeah, alrighty then. So, I like this one just for fun. It's a nice what if kind of thing. So, what would the show be renamed to if Destiny servers were taken offline and you had to choose another game to center the podcast around?
Ooh.
XOXO Drafty.
Ooh. Well, what's your answer, Hazel? If we were no longer a Destiny podcast.
Well, also, I mean, Kingsley, he does have a Destiny podcast too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we throw it to the guest first.
Okay. Well, Mr. Kingsley, what do you think?
I mean, if we're following by those very specific rules, because I would either end the podcast or I would probably have a general gaming podcast, because I don't really have a desire to do either of those two, though. I really only had the desire to do a Destiny podcast. But if I had to pick another game, maybe like Borderlands or Assassin's Creed. Yeah. But what would be a cool name? The busted out old bald dudes that used to play Destiny Borderlands podcast. I don't know.
Hub.
Nice.
Hub. At the end.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The old hub.
Yep.
What do you
Pump
think?
for geriatrics.
Well, I'm curious I'm curious what you're going to say here, Hazel.
Oh shit, man! I saw mine. I'm curious too. I would say maybe like a general gaming podcast, except it would be more so like me. I mean, I guess it'd be more Twitch based, I guess, where it'd be me playing like games like Final Fantasy VII Remake,
Okay.
just to, go through it and then see how, like how it's going with that. Maybe, play different games with Gator where it would be, us playing Final Fantasy VII and giving our thoughts as we're playing through it.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Something like that.
Gator could say, "This is no Destiny."
Sorry, man.
I remember back in my day, we had Destiny.
It's not Destiny.
Not Destiny.
I'll clip that one. I would go a little bit different direction, Hazel. I like the gaming. I like gaming news and maybe doing some walkthroughs and playthroughs. I like that part, but I would integrate what we like to talk about. What's the other two things we like to talk about? It's TV shows and movies, and then incorporate some music albums, like the way the Potato Thumbs podcast is doing right now. They'll do a whole album and dissect it, and even play some parts of the album and stuff. I'm listening to part of it right now. It's really good. That's where I would go with it. I mean, currently, I'm in the middle of it. It's 2.5 hours long, so I'm working
Sid
on
would
it.
do that on our podcast.
Yeah.
He would be listening to stuff while we're talking.
I'm listening to a different podcast while we're podcasting.
No, not doing it now. I was listening to today while I was working in the beautiful weather. So, good question, man. Kingsley, you know how this works. Pick one out, man.
Do I?
I hope I haven't said so too many times for Sweaty to call me out.
We should have a drinking game. So, drink. I think, yeah. So
I haven't had to interject. I haven't had to interject and kind of get us back on track by going. So anyway,
good point. Hey, it's dude for me. So I'm the dude guy. Dude, that's awesome, man. Man and dude, that's me. I'm the man and dude guy.
Dude, man,
that's awesome, dude.
Man.
What one you got to pick out there, Kingsley?
All right, I have a question from who's this guy? Sign
Tim
trademark. Does he think he's special?
I don't know.
I know that's my lovely co-host from the Guardian. Sin, yes. Although in Guardian Ab, I think he actually is SYSIN right now. He's such a sinner.
He is.
Anyways, his question says, if you had to sign, I know. If you had to do it over again, would you still have made your own podcast? And why? What's the biggest draw to podcast creation? Am I supposed to answer this first since I read it?
Well, no. We'll kick it to Hazel. What do you think, Hazel?
Gator's going to hate me.
I know. Just say it. It's all right. Go ahead.
Yes, of course I would do it again. My biggest draw to this is getting to know you guys. Getting to know everybody in our community and people outside of our community that I never would have met otherwise. Because we have some of the most upstanding, awesome people here, and I don't even know where I would be right now if it weren't for y'all.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, I'll add to that. Would I do it again? Yeah, I think I would, especially now that I know how it's done. I started cold turkey. I didn't know how to podcast. I jumped in with 2 feet and didn't know what the hell I was doing, which probably describes a lot of podcasting out there. You got to only learn by doing, right? Why? I mean, I think Hazel answered the question. The reason I love doing this podcast is I like learning about people. Like, okay, I'm gonna spill the beans. Our guest next week is RPG Magnet. I've seen this guy in the Dad's Tales Discord for years. Didn't know a damn thing about him. So what am I going to do? He's going to be on next week and we're going to find out what he's all about. So that's the reason I do it. And the biggest draw, the reason I do the podcasting creations with Hazel is now that we've done this for a while, I kind of feel I'm letting guys and gals, I should say, down if we don't put one out every week. I think people look forward to listening to us. Why I don't know, but especially my old ass. But we get such great comments in our Discord and feedback that, like I'll give you an example. Sweaty Spooks mentioned, and he's one of our newest members in our Discord, mentioned when he was at work, he busted out laughing because he was listening to our podcast because I used Serge Tankian as what band did I say he was in? I can't remember.
Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against the Machine, when he's obviously part of System of a Down, but it was late and I had been sipping some drinks and I wasn't thinking. I was, it was late. So anyway, yes, I would definitely do it again. We kind of explain why, and I feel like I'm letting people down if I don't, if we don't release stuff every week. So that's my draw. I'm going to turn it to you, Kingsley.
Oh yeah, I definitely still do it. Why? Because it's worth it, and like I said before, I know that I would do this with enough desire, at least for quite a while, because I enjoy doing this even when there's a little less to talk about. We can still have fun, at least, less than Destiny. Yeah. Keep it going. And, the draw is just nothing really too specific. I also love the community, the people that have been so awesome to join with and help others get experiences done in the game. I've seen so many people that were in other communities or didn't have any community, and they were like, no one's playing Destiny. I'm like, that's not true. There's actually Discords where a lot of people are playing Destiny. So it's awesome to kind of get those people together.
I feel that when I listen to you guys. You guys have a lot of passion toward the game like we do. I feel we're kind of kindred spirits in that respect. I mean, with a lot of the Destiny podcasts, we all love this game. We love talking about it. I mean, look how long I've rambled on tonight. Things like that. You know what? Speaking of Mr. Sweaty Spooks, I got a speak pipe from him, guys. So it's a good 90 seconds. I think he used every drop of that 90 seconds. So here we go.
Hey everyone, my name is Sweaty Spooks, and thank you so much for tuning into another episode of the Guardian Downcast. So, this week, we have received a juicy twab. Haven't seen it? What are you even doing with your life? Pause this, go check it out right now. At this point of the podcast, we would have gone through our guest interview, they would have tried the speed run, and hopefully they have just utterly destroyed Kingsleymac, Sin, and Xanafan's record. Now, to move on to what else we got this week, we have received Gator's predicted Vidoc. He called it in the previous episode. I was there. I was listening. I heard it. Called it. Now, Gator called it. Moving on. We've also received the Beyond Light seasonal calendar. Follow that up with a launch trailer and our new power cap. Soft cap being 1200, hard cap being 1250, pinnacle cap being 1260, and as well, Luke Smith has indeed heard Gator's dreams and is relieving him of his bounty fatigue. That's right, you heard it. Gator's bounty fatigue. Now, we also got Bright Dust changes coming down the pipe, along with Spider changes more relevant to enhancement materials and Eververse updates. But what I want to know is, because the moon is not being sunset, will the moon's weapons power cap be brought up for Beyond Light? And if not, what legendary machine guns will we have access to that we currently are aware of? Who knows? I'm looking forward to your answers. Love the show. Stay tuned.
Well done, man. I told you I like this guy, Hazel. This is
I started watching him on stream. Yeah, pretty cool guy.
He covered a lot there. Probably a lot of the TWAB that we talked about. But his question was about the moon. He talked about how, since the moon is not getting, eliminated, what heavy machine guns are we recommending to use? Since and are they going to be sunset? I think they are going to be sunset, aren't they? Kingsley, you're the technical guy here. God, I'm trying to think about that.
I feel like I heard that somewhere else too. Sorry, I don't have the question right on my fingertips.
I'm on DIM. I'll pull it up and see.
I know. I'm pulling up DIM right now.
I'm trying to see what the emblem is next to those machine guns.
That's a good point.
I have those machine guns from the moon.
Obviously not exotics because those aren't getting sunset.
Of course. Let's see here.
Because I love running. I still use the Hammerhead in the Scourge of the Past raid, and I love using 21% Delirium, especially when it's Arc Burn and Strikes. That just mows.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. I think the Seventh Seraph is the only one, isn't it?
I'm looking at a fine memorial. This is the one from the moon. It's a It's a 450. It's a slow fire machine gun, and it shows that it is 1060 max, season 11 max gun, so it's not getting brought along. You say the seventh, sir? The seventh
Seraph. Yeah, that was from the whatever one that one was.
I got it here. Yeah, that's right. Wow, that's weird. That is weird. It is 1310 season 13 max, and it's even slower firing. It's a 360 rate of fire. Interesting.
But yeah, I mean, machine guns definitely need some love. I mean, that's the takeaway there,
right?
Sure,
right.
Hopefully, we'll get some more.
I think so.
Yeah, I just got my Edgewise, by the way, and I actually kind of fucking like that thing. That thing kind of mows motherfuckers down. I like it.
That was pretty good too. Yeah.
Well, I guess to answer his question, it looks like Fine Memorial is not going to be brought along. So, yeah. Thanks for doing the speak pipe, man. I like these speak pipe. It's nice. Fun. It's nice to shake it up. All right. Yeah. So it means it's your turn, Hazel, for one of our podcast questions.
I appreciated the way that he kind of made it seem like he's like an announcer.
I like that.
A commentator, just like announcing like what we've done and everything like that. And so, yeah.
And in a word, in a phrase, Vidoc called it.
There you go, man. You can beat it to death. Congratulations, man.
Hazel is not sour when I'm right. He's not sour.
No, I'm not, man, because you make some outlandish claims. And,
I do.
I mean, that one was like the least outlandish of them. So,
I told RNG Gator, I says, I throw enough crap on the wall, something's got to stick, right?
That is true.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, what else we got?
All right. Okay. Sorry, I was just reading one of these questions, and I'm choosing not to read it. Okay, so well, here's a question from Warlock that we did sort of already answer. Question for the show. It seems like there's a lot of free content in the upcoming seasonal calendar versus the paid seasonal content. Did you notice this as well? And what are your takes on this? So yeah, we already talked about that.
Yeah, we kind of went over that already. Yeah. Good question, though.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go with this. Okay. Anubis Falls, new member to the clan and to the Discord as well. Great show. Enjoyed your take on hand cannons and such. Do you think sidearms other than Drang will stay relevant since hand cannons are getting a big range buff?
Kingsley, what do you think, man?
Well, I do think they're going to be somewhat relevant, at least for a while, because of all the changes. People are going to want to check them out. It's hard to say in PvE what will be the big pull, but I'm excited to try Thorn. I already kind of liked Thorn from time to time in PvE, and I might actually try it in PvP. See if I can get some of those 2 taps. I doubt I will, but
well, he was talking about he was asking about sidearms. Do you think there's other than Drang? Do you think there's gonna be any sidearms?
Gosh, I am.
What about the Devil's Ruin? No, everybody forgets about that. It's like a line rifle built in. Again? It's like a line rifle built into a sidearm. I don't know. It's solar burn. I don't know. Maybe.
I guess I'm less up on sidearms. I don't know. I liked in D1. I used the Last Hope or whatever, that pretty good one. But
well, the Fool's Remedy from Iron Banner is carrying on to season 14, 1360. But unfortunately, like the Enigma's Draw, which is one of my favorites, it's a slower firing one, but it hits hard. It's 1310, season 13 max, so a couple more seasons you can use that. And the 3-shot.
It's funny that we're going to have more sidearms than we are machine guns.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I mean, what are we going to do without the hammerhead now?
I mean, we can still use it in older content.
Well, no, I'm talking about what about the campaign? Going through the campaign, stuff's going to start getting higher and higher light. You know how they do it. They stair step it. It'll work for the first mission probably because we're all starting at 1050, right? But after that, I don't know. There's some they're carrying through, like the Lonesome. That's carrying through. I'm not a favorite of mine, but a lot of my 3-shot sidearms, like the Breach Light, and there's some 3-shots like the Last Hope. If you get it from a drop I believe if you get it from one of the Ingrams, it can still carry over. But the only one I have is not carrying over. It's only good till next season, 1260. So something to keep in mind. Yeah, I hopefully that answered his question. Yeah. Okay, that makes it your turn, Kingsley.
Let's see here. Chubby Wizard, what's your favorite and least favorite Halloween candy? We're getting close to Halloween here. I mean,
tomorrow. Yeah.
Gosh, I'm like, we're really close.
Today, actually. Yeah.
I know.
Depending on where you are.
I'm still 11 where I'm at. But
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Since Hazel, you can go first.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
My favorite. I guess I'll be the weirdo. I like candy corn.
You're not weird. I like the pumpkins, the mellow creams. They're good. They're not my favorite, but what's your least
candy corn?
Yeah,
candy corn with the corn.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes, I've eaten those as well.
It's not a pumpkin.
It's the same thing.
Nice.
It's made the same.
Least favorite, those ones that are just wrapped in black. I don't even know what the hell they are. I never ate them.
The peanut butter ones, those are good. Those are all right.
There's like nothing on the wrapper at all. They're just wrapped in black, and they look like completely and utterly sus.
Okay, when I was a kid, if I got a full-size Snickers or Three Musketeers, I was dying. It was awesome. That means those people really put a lot of time into the candy and must have spent a fortune, but that's my favorite Halloween candy from when I was a kid. Least favorite is those little cheap, like multi-packs. There's like several different kinds of candy in it, but it's like looks like they got it from the dollar store. It's like a amber wrapper on it, and you're like, what the hell's in this?
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't even know either.
What?
Right.
Maybe it's a Florida thing. I don't know.
A multi-pack?
And no, it's like you get like a piece of candy corn, but it's not real candy corn. It's like that.
Like someone just put it together in their kitchen.
It's not real candy corn?
No, it comes packaged, but it didn't come packaged from Brock's. It's not an original candy corn. It's like generic.
Candy.
It's like generic. You got hey in the Discord, guys, and show feedback. You explain to these guys what I'm talking about. It's that knockoff candy corn and maybe like a jelly bean or something in it. It was so dumb.
I think it's the meth heads giving you that in Florida.
Maybe that's bath salt. Maybe it's not a jelly bean. I'm
so confused right now.
What do you got, Kingsley?
Yeah, I'd love to see some pictures in the Discord if anyone knows what Gator's talking about.
I'm going to find a picture now. I'm on a mission.
Yeah. For me, also chocolate. I mean, just because I like chocolate way over candy. You know, even if it's like the mini Snickers, that's totally fine. Reese's peanut butter cups, things like that. Least favorite would be like hard candies, like if they're throwing some crap like Werther's in there, or strawberry things, or I don't know. I just don't like hard candy.
All right.
But yeah,
fair enough.
I'm down with candy corn though. That's somewhere in the middle.
Okay. It means it's my turn. All right. I have one from Warlock again here. It's a good question. I don't think we answered this from the Vidoc. I was just watching the Bungie Vidoc and noticed 2 Cabal bosses next to Zavala in one scene, which blew my mind. What do you speculate this means? What do you guys think here? We working with a Cabal?
Well, so that was kind of like spoilery territory there. So,
well, I mean, it's in the Vidoc. We're talking about the Vidoc. It's in the Vidoc, so I don't know how spoiler that can be.
Well, quick note here before we continue on with the question here. Osiris is also in there too.
Yeah. So if you do not want to be spoiled about this or what our speculation is, then give us.
We don't know.
We don't know. We're speculating, but give us 60 seconds.
Rewind this and forget 30 seconds.
Fast forward 30 times 2, and you'll be on to the next one.
And our apologies.
No more math. Math hurts. Sorry. What do you think, Kingsley?
There is some speculation that I actually think it would be cool if he's somehow working with the Cabal. That doesn't seem like that big of a crazy idea to me, especially if some of the Cabals maybe like turned around and a couple of the leaders are like, yeah, we need to work with you guys also. I like that idea. Of course, the other idea is Osiris is just chilling in the background, taking him through time and showing him things. both those ideas, I guess, will be kind of interesting.
Okay.
No, I hope not.
All right, then what's your opinion there?
That would break my damn heart.
What's your
I
opinion?
want to see us working with the Cabal. I think that would be badass.
I like the Cabal.
You know?
They're badass people, man. Remember when in Destiny 1, they just destroy planets. They just conquer them. They don't do anything but just destroy. They just mow through planets. They just destroy them. That's badass, man.
I want Scion powers that I can boop up ads.
Yeah, exactly. Or rather, how about in Crucible? That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's your speculation, Hazel?
I truly hope there. Yeah.
I
mean, I do. I hope that we're using them and everything else. So,
I think Osiris got him from the Infinite Forest, brought him back, and he turned them to our side. Maybe he showed them a future that they believed, and they're on board to help us fight the darkness. That's my 2 cents.
It's almost like a blend.
Yeah, that's my 2 cents. We'll see who's right.
The like the Lord of the Rings kind of thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's going to happen though, honestly.
No?
But no, because that's not what the Cabal are doing, man. In the lore, it's like they can't return home unless their mission is over.
Well, it's possible some of them are different. I mean, we know there's a few Fallen that are on our side, Mithrax, and so it's possible that some of them could be on our side and good.
Yeah.
It's always possible.
It's probably unlikely.
All right. I tell you what, let's each grab one and we'll call it a night. So Hazel, you go first. I'll close it out.
All right. Then I am going to choose Scum Death Bastardo. When was the last time that you played using the D-pad? Mine is Tony Hawk's remake.
The directional pad? Is that what you're talking about on the controller?
Yep.
Okay. I can answer that. What's your answer, Kingsley?
I feel like, I don't know, did any of the Nintendo ones have it recently? Super Mario Brothers, yeah. I think does the Pro Controller have the D-pad on it, right?
I think they all do.
Yeah, so the Super Mario Brother original games I was playing on the Switch.
It does.
Yep. That wasn't too long ago, maybe 6 months ago or so.
Yeah, for me, it's been a while. God, it was bad. It was Mortal Kombat. Using combos. That's the last time I used it. Okay, that means
Nickelback for the win.
No. All right, that means you're next, Kingsley. Pick one out there.
From Des Raven, question for the show. I kind of enjoy having this season and with Festival of the Lost as the final event. Seems poetic. Ending a season with Remembrance and starting a year with the first event being the Dawning. What do you think if this becomes the norm? Would you mind, or does your mind cling to September releases? I do not mind at all. I'm just curious if that will mess up things with how the events play out in general. Actually, it may be better because before we had Halloween and Christmas in one season.
Dawning,
so now Christmas can be in a different season, and then the spring one in the next season, and the summer one. So yeah, this actually could be a good thing.
What do you think, Hazel?
Yeah, I like it, actually. I mean, it's like a nice bookend to the end of the season almost. I mean, depending on how the season's ending and things like that. I mean, if like the world's ending and things, I don't want to be fucking running through the haunted forest for the 18,000th time going like, hey, the world's ending, but hey, I'm grabbing this candy. So,
yeah,
if it hits the plot point, then yes.
As long as there's a week like this time around where we don't have to do haunted forest and we, something else comes up, and hopefully there will be something coming up. So I'm good with it. I'm fine with it. It's when all the releases seem to come out in November anyway. So what's one more, right? It was kind of neat that Destiny would come out in September, not like Call of Duty and all the other games that came out in November every year. I thought it was kind of unique that they did that, but I'm happy either way. Okay, one more here. Let's see. All right. I got another one from Sweaty Spooks here. He says, can you think of a time where you'd be at work and it seemed like everything was just a downhill spiral, nothing going your way, and that sigh of relief when you finally got to sit down at home and say to yourself, thank God that's over with? Who wants to go first?
I'll go. I've had close. I never really maybe have gotten super exactly close to this, like what he's mentioning, but I've gotten closer to this more recently than ever before with my job. I've been getting very, very busy, and people wanting to do projects too quickly that I'm trying to warn them that we need more research, more planning, but they just tell me to push forward, and it's been getting kind of stressful lately. But it's nice to come home and like, okay, that was done. I got it done, even though it was stressful. That's happened a lot recently for me.
Can you flip the switch when you get home, or does work linger?
I mostly can. I mean, I'm always kind of wanting to work and research stuff, but that's more like the fun side of it. I'm not worrying. Well, yeah, there are times where I'm worrying if a project isn't done all the way. But if I pretty much have finished the project, I can definitely flip the switch and then just relax when I get home.
Nice. What do you think? Hazel, you got an example?
Every fucking day.
I was just going to say that, but I wanted you to say it. I mean, you deal with customers
for
all
me, man,
day.
It's every day. I mean, a straight 8 hours from the time I get in, it's like pissed off customer. And then it's just like, okay, well, this is my day today. And then we just kind of go from there. So, yeah, but hopefully it lessens up eventually. Or if not, then maybe I'll just make a change and go from there.
Yeah, I've had these days. They're not as frequent as they used to be. I've simplified my business and my life quite a bit, but there'll be days when you have a whole day planned out and Mother Nature's like, no, I don't think so. You think you can control your day. You get out the door. What's the first thing? Front tire in the truck's low. Okay, great. Let's get that filled up. Get to our first job. Get it done. Great. Great start to the day. And then what happens? You get to your next job, and here comes the rain out of nowhere. This is Florida weather. And it's very much like Britain, very much like the UK. And I've had days where I just want to rip my clothes off and just get the hell home, get into the shower, get a nice hot shower, and go sit in the office and say, F that day, man. Plenty of days like that, but not as often as I used to. Yeah. Good question.
Sorry, we're laughing.
That was a good.
Now you just
I know.
rip your clothes off anyway.
Sin's gonna cap that one, I'm sure.
Hey, I have a quick exclusive question.
All right, go for it.
You guys get a exclusive drop on the show.
Okay.
Question for the show from Creepy Uncle Bot.
Oh, come on, man.
Did you know that I'm Kingsleymac?
Really?
What?
Are you really? Oh, man. I thought it was Drafty the whole time.
I thought it was Skull Reaper.
I remember Jay, a.k.a. Gear Dad.
I've been waiting to come back on the show to tell you guys that.
That is awesome, man. That's awesome. Well played. Well played, sir. Yes. Wow, that's a drop.
Nice.
Good job. That's a good way to bookend it right there. Good job. Hey, if we didn't answer your question this week, gang, we'll definitely get to it next week. RPG Magnet will be on next week, and we'll save some of these for him to answer as well. So there's a couple in here that are a little spoilery, and we'll have to give people warning when we ask those questions. But we're going to move on to our final part of our show tonight. This is where we pick our songs for our award-winning Guardian Downcast show playlists on Spotify and now iTunes. Just a little sampling of what all of us like to listen to here. And now we have 449 songs, 32 hours and 15 minutes of glorious music representing all of our past guests and, of course, me and Hazel. So, Kingsley, why don't you get us started, man? What do you got for this week?
Yeah, for sure. I was trying to think what to do because, I've been on a couple times, and I was starting to look at some newish type songs because I'm pretty eclectic to my listening tastes, and there's a couple newer pop songs that have been hitting my fancy lately, and I was like, no, maybe I'll go for some because I may get sick of them, in a couple months. And I was trying to look through my playlist, and there'd been talk about different names lately, and Rinsler kind of came up, and I'm like, oh yeah, Daft Punk and Tron. And I was thinking about Daft Punk in general. So I wouldn't say I'm like the biggest expert of Daft Punk or the biggest fan in the world, but I do really, really like what they put out. And a couple ones that really appeal to me is, of course, Rinsler from the Tron soundtrack.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the whole soundtrack's great, right? It's almost hard to pick one, but that's when they're in the bar and they're kind of, and you can actually see Daft Punk. They have the cameo in the movie. Nice. They're like the DJs, playing in the background.
Right.
And so,
yeah, can't wait to hear that.
Fun.
Nice.
And then the other one's just one of the more popular ones, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. And I just love the beat to this song, and they've played it before. I forget if it was like the Oscars or the Emmys a while back.
I was just going to say, I think they were at the Oscars.
You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They played with Dave Grohl, I think.
No, I think it was the rapper, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. It was
what's his name? Kanye, yeah.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
Yeah, well, he sampled it. I mean, he sampled that for
he has a version
song.
of that song, yes.
Right.
And that's why.
That's why.
But I'm always impressed when you see him, like I haven't seen him in concert or anything, but when you see him like from a video of a recorded concert or of course they're at the Oscars, like I was always like, well, did they just like pre-record all this shit and then just play it and just kind of like dance or something like some stupid DJ? No, they actually will hit pre-recorded sounds, and they have this whole board in front of them that looks like a big, like one of those games from the 80s of the big checkerboard. You have to hit the different squares and stuff in a certain order. And they actually do that live, when they're playing the music. So it's pretty cool.
Good deal. Good picks.
Nice, man.
Hazel, what do you got? I see you finally put them in our show notes.
I put them in before the show, man.
I'm going to nag you every week. Then I won't get them at all. All right, never mind. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So, something about me is that I love like angry women rock groups. So like L7, and then I found this group, Luna Aura, and they have a song called Honey, and this just like completely and utterly scratched that itch, and I was just like, yes. So yeah. So that's one of my picks. Okay. And then I went with an older song from the Lemonheads, Mrs. Robinson. I heard this on the radio today, and it's been stuck in my head. And my daughter was like, I like this. And then I played her the original, and she liked this one better. So, I mean, it's a nice punk.
I love that song, man. It's a great song.
Kind of version of that song. So it's good stuff.
Yeah. Good deal. Well, okay. For my first pick, I picked a group that is a collaboration. It's by the English musician and founder of Porcupine Tree, which I've added one of their songs already. His name is Stephen Wilson, and an Israeli rock singer named Aviv Geffen. They released 5 albums together so far under this moniker, and Geffen was a big fan of Porcupine Tree. He even invited Stephen to do some live shows in Israel, and after that, the two have worked together forever. So this moniker has been together for 14 years, and my pick is off their 5th self-titled album and latest album from 2014. It's the group Blackfield, and the song is Family Man. Just a great alt-rock sound. That's if you listen to the playlist, in our podcast playlist, you kind of realize that's kind of the genre that I like to listen to. For my second pick, I try to pick something newer and then something older. So this is my old pick. This is an oldie but a goodie. The band started in Birmingham, England in '64. These guys were the pioneers of art and progressive rock with their big orchestral sounds, a lot of horns, a lot of string instruments. They combine that with rock and very much synthesized music, which I love my synthesizer. And they moved into the 70s and 80s. They still tour today and doing special events. And a fun fact about this band, they're the only band that's had top 10 hits in 3 different decades. That is a tough thing to do today with the one hit and obscure bands we seem to run across a lot. There are so many songs in their catalog to choose from, but since I was a child of the 80s, I chose this song as it was one I heard on my first hi-fi system. No, you didn't hear that wrong. Not Wi-Fi. We had these things called high-fidelity stereo systems back in the day. Remember tower speakers? Uncle Scumdeath knows what I'm talking about. They've had 16 studio albums released to date, and my song is off their 10th. From 1981, Long Distance Voyager, and it's the song The Voice and the great synthesizers and fantastic chorus of this song. I really miss this group. Very iconic group called the Moody Blues. As requested, Mrs. Gator has chosen a song for this week, and she says this. Me on math night when I find out that hardly anyone sent home the papers for the event. Me also when Gator was talking to me when I was trying to get math night conference started and unsuccessfully trying to upload a PDF of a paper that didn't go home. I can chuckle about it now, but I was definitely one step closer to the edge that night. So her song is Linkin Park, One Step Closer. I was there. I was there. It's very intense. I've never seen her so concentrated on one thing. Zan, of course, had a pick this week, and it is the group G Love and Special Sauce, and the song is Cold Beverage. Don't ask me what this group's about. I'm going to listen to it. I have no idea.
No, you should know that one.
I probably want to listen to it. It just doesn't come to mind. He says, my mom and I were talking about having beverages all the times, and this song came to mind, and it's just dope. So there you go. I do usually post videos of some of our picks every week in our Discord channel under Music and TV. And guys, I think that's it. I think we're done. That's a wrap. Another episode in the can, as 30 and Still Gaming would say. For our listeners out there, we have 67 other episodes with interviews from gamers and people from our community all over. So take a look at those, especially if you're just finding out about us. And a little bit of housekeeping. We do have a Destiny 2 clan. Hazel and I would love you to be a part of it, especially if you're about to jump in before the new expansion. Now's a good time to jump in, meet all our great gamers that are in our Discord. And we do ask that you join our Discord because that's the way we communicate. And thanks to Mr. Kingsleymac here, we have a 100.io bot that does communicate and look for people in 3 different Discords. Ours, the Two Titans and a Hunter podcast Discord, and also of course, the best hub on the net, the Guardian Hub podcast Discord. So look for that. And our call sign for our clan is DOWN, and just look for Guardian Down Cast is the name of our clan. Man, I'm stumbling. I always stumble at the end of the night. I'm just so stumbly.
So stumbly.
I don't know
our
what
lovely voices were.
You know what it is? Is these deep conversations just took it all out of me, man. I was raged by the TWAB and my lack of bounties and 400 legendary shards to buy a frickin' prism. Kiss my ass. Never gonna happen. Kingsley, thanks, man. I appreciate you filling in last minute. I know we didn't give you a lot of notice, and you were a champ, man. I was so looking forward all week to talking to you about Destiny, and man, we talked a lot about Destiny tonight.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah,
thank you.
It was a pleasure. I love being on.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, tell everybody where everyone can find you, sir.
Yeah, thanks for getting a shout to the raid bot, the 100.io bot. I even saw tonight there was a raid group going on as we were recording, and we had a couple people join there in both of our Discords. So it's a good system if you're looking for people to play with. Definitely check that out. Mm-hmm. And I mean, as you know, we're the Guardian Hub, and we have a Destiny podcast also, and you can find us at Twitter as The Guardian Hub or at our lovely website, theguardianhub.com. The best hub on the net.
Very
That's
good.
Sin's line.
That's all right. Sin's not here. Yeah, you're good.
You can find me as Kingsleymac all the places except Twitter. I'm MC Kingsley.
Hazel?
Short and sweet. Hazel, NT, anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah. Love that branding. You can find me at Todd the Gator. Remember, that's GATR. You can find our podcast on Twitter at Guardian_D_cast. We have a YouTube channel. We have our website where you can even listen to our episodes on demand right on the PC or Mac, I guess you could say. That's guardiandowncast.com. So visit there. It'll give you all of our contact information. Not to drag it on too long here. Man, I'm just fading fast. I'm falling apart. Hey, if you do like what you're listening to, guys, do us a big favor. Spread the word for us. You know, that's the way we grow. That's the way we get into the ears of other people out there who love to play Destiny. And what would be complete for this night, and you should be honored, Kingsley, because we don't do these too often, is an Uncle Scumdeath Corner. So here it is.
Hello, and welcome to Scumdeath's Corner. I got busted the other day by the missus. I was at work at dinner time, and I was flicking through the news feed on my phone, and there was this quite attractive woman who's taken up bodybuilding, so I thought, I'll have a little, see what this news section is, and yeah, it's very attractive, so I went on a deep dive and ended up on her Instagram. I mean, I'm not on Instagram, but it took me to her page. And so I had a little flick through, and yeah, very nice indeed. So I put my phone down and then carried on to work. And then, in the evening when I'm home, sat at home with the missus, she sat next to me and she's like, oh, my phone's dead, and put her phone to the side. So I was like, oh yeah, yapping away. And then I went up to the toilet, and as I came back down, she's got my phone in her hand because she wanted to Google something. And she said to me, who's Daniela Zuccherini? I'm like, what? She's like, well, you're on her Instagram. I'm like, oh shit. She's like, oh yeah? Do you like bodybuilding women then, dear? I'm like, oh my God, busted. Yeah, so I had to get myself out of that one. But, you know, I bet you she's been on Dwayne Johnson's bloody Instagram checking out his fucking muscles, you know what I mean? But, yeah. And have you not been busted like that before? But, yeah, I got away with it, though, so I've still got my balls intact, so I won't be doing that again. I'll be clearing my search history from now on. Right, love you all. See you soon. Bye now.
Oh my God. Did you guys hear it?
Yeah, it's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, I love this guy. Uncle Scumdeath, we hope you're well, buddy. We really do.
Yes, we do.
Always a pleasure to hear Mr. Uncle Scumdeath. So cool. You can follow him, by the way, Scumdeath Bastardo on YouTube. He does put out some videos every now and then that are really cool to listen to and watch. So thank you for that. Hey, everybody, continue to be safe out there. Take care of one another. Please wear that mask in public.
Guardians are measured by their ability to come back from defeat. So stand. Fight!
Thank you all so very much for listening. And later, Guardian.
Bottles and warmest regards.
Goodbye.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. That was a lot of fun.
Yes,
that was awesome, man. We had a lot to talk about, but we appreciate you hanging in there, man. There was a lot of information.
We had a lot, I know, but I had fun. Don't worry. Yeah, I know about getting tired at the end, but still at the same point, I feel energized somehow. And I was drinking a Diet Coke here too.
Oh, okay. You got the caffeine going. Good deal.
Yep.
Perfect, man. Well, I'm sorry you're going to have to do this all over again on Sunday. Isn't that where you guys record?
It's okay.
I've had days where I just want to rip my clothes off and just get the hell home, get into the shower, get a nice hot shower, and go sit in the office and say, F that day, man.